That deserves a share. That's a 10 out of 10 right there. That's a 10 out of 10 comment right there.
Yo,
Shout
Bro,
out to J Rock, bro. J Rock, 10 out of 10 comment right there.
hide
Bro.
mode Tommy, bro. That's the one.
All right, y'all. Everybody in the chat, man. G messed it up today, bro. We almost had all 6 of us.
almost close.
G messed it up, man. G messed it up for the first time. It wasn't Mo's fault. Everybody in the chat, much love and respect. Appreciate y'all for always joining early and everything. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. So go subscribe to the No Name Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel as well. We're trying to rank up to 1,000 over there. We also trying to get some things planned, for some big stuff we got for the content for the page for the future. Today's episode is going to be pretty simple. We're actually just going to be giving our own takes on certain things. Everybody up here has written down 5 different topics, questions that they want to discuss. None of us know what any of us are going to throw out there for topics, and we're just going to discuss it on the fly. So I'm not sure if there's going to turn into any debates or whatever the case is, because I'm not really sure what everybody's got written down. Besides, no, Nate, I know one thing he got written down. I lied. He already put it in the group chat. But other than that, not really sure what we're going to be discussing here. So just stay along for the ride. If you guys enjoy the pod, make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that stuff, and share some thoughts you have in the comment section below as well as we go along with the topics that we're going to discuss and everything. So what happened? So Lewis isn't on. I'm going to address Lewis isn't on the show anymore. Nothing. We don't got any problems with Lewis, but he's been focusing a lot on
his own thing. Yep.
Lewis has been training to be a wrestler. He's been focusing a lot on that. And then he's also been doing stuff with Mo, like trying to figure out their podcast situation over there as well. So Lewis has been doing.
If you're into old school cartoons and stuff, you should go follow his TikTok channel because he talks a lot about that.
He actually has his own thing on Twitch right now too. If you guys want to go check that out.
Yeah, it's a game show.
Yeah, he does like his own little thing on Twitch over there on Twitch. But Lewis has been doing his own thing, man. Shout out to Lewis. Mo Code Austin is crazy.
Bro, they going in on you, bro.
Mo Code Austin
every week.
Mo Rika, that's crazy, bro. Mo Rika
It's the weekly
actually...
dick eat, man. It's the weekly dick eat.
All right, so we'll dive into these conversations, and then we'll just kind of go. How do y'all want to do this? So let me ask you, how do y'all want to do this? Wait, what's somebody
We're gonna
say?
just ignore what he just said.
Are they
bro.
not dick eating? Like, goddamn.
I didn't hear what he say. What do you say?
You eat cock, like what?
We still doing this out of context shit? Yo, I hate you.
Hey man, you brought up eating meat.
Yo,
Bro.
watch out,
like,
bro. Watch out.
Like what? What?
Watch
man?
out, bro.
What did he say exactly? Because I literally didn't hear.
I'm not
I
repeating
said-
it.
I said I forgot what the conversation was. I told someone I was like eat cock, and then he replied, "That's my thing."
As in, that's my joke, but niggas took it out of context.
He was really bad out of context, bro. It was really bad. He was cooked, bro.
Man, that context.
Hey,
floating
I
out
got,
there,
I
and you
got,
put that in there,
I got
bro.
one for G. Anytime he brings that up, I got one that was even more egregious, and there's context.
All right, so let me ask you how y'all want to do this. We all have 5, so do y'all just want to go one by one topic individually, or do you just want somebody to just go through their list? Like I'll
Probably
start.
easier if we take it one take at a time, and then just we'll put a little bit of a time limit on each one because obviously we got a lot to cover. So
Yeah, okay.
every just give a take, and then everyone give their own take on it within a couple of minutes, and then we move on to the next one.
All right, that works. All right, so I guess we'll just start with me, and then we'll just go in order from me to Jay to Lynn, and we'll just go from that order.
You want to do a snake? Like
Ooh,
that
that's
way,
that
and
way. And then
Pretty
back.
small.
You can do snake. Snake's cool.
Yep.
Snake is fine. We could do a snake. So once it gets to you, Mo, you'll throw out your first topic, and then when we're done with that, you'll throw out your second topic, and then we'll just do it that way. So we'll go. We'll end up going snake. So snake is fine. Like I said, these topics are going to be just what anybody wants to talk about, whatever is on their mind, however they personally feel. So my first topic is, some of y'all weren't here for this last week. We kind of discussed it. Me, Lynn, and G kind of discussed it last week, but I just want to see if the temperature has changed. I just want to see if anybody
Oh my gosh, I know where he's going.
I just want to see if anybody has a different answer. Okay, I just want to see if the temperature has changed. So last week we discussed, and we're talking hypotheticals here. Okay, so we're talking hypotheticals.
Yeah.
We discussed who's really the guy right now. Is it Roman or Cody? Right now, let's say hypothetically, let's just say hypothetically, Roman Reigns is really going to be here from now to SummerSlam. We're just talking from now to SummerSlam. He's going to be active. He's going to be there like he said he was. He's going to be active. My question was last week, if Roman is really going to be there, who's really the guy then? Is Roman taking it back or is it still Cody? Now, last week, people still said Cody. But I don't know if I don't know if the temperature has changed over the last week or so. I don't know if it feels different. But my question to y'all, if Roman Reigns is going to be actively there more often than he is usual, will you look at him as like he's the face, he's the guy, or will it still be Cody for you?
I'm in a I need to see it to believe it type deal. Like
we're talking hypothetically. Let's say it happens. So let's say it actually happens for you. Who's going to be the guy for you? Is it going to be Roman, or is it
no? I think Cody has put in enough work to earn that. Like you're always going to have the and listen, I love Roman Reigns, but you're always going to have those Roman stands that are going to argue that he was always the greatest of all time, even though that's not true at all. But I think Cody has earned the right to maintain that QB1 status. And I also, again, even if Roman is more around than he usually is, I don't foresee Roman being as around as Cody is going to be. I think the argument honestly could be made that CM Punk is the guy right now, even without the title, just based on the stories that he's been in. He was in the main event of night 2. Cody wasn't. He's still the most popular guy in the company, as much as it hurts me to say that. So I think the argument could be made that neither one of them are the guy right now, but between the two, I would still give it to Cody.
Leonard, you're last because we already know what your answer is going to be.
But wait, it's funny. Can I add to what Jade was saying? It's funny about that CM Punk thing because Fightful reported that the top merch sellers in order was CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Danhausen.
Yeah.
All right. Trash. Trash. But I feel like Roman at this point in career, he's just a special attraction. Like at the end of the day, Cody is going to be doing majority of the media appearances, regardless of if Roman's doing media appearances. Roman is probably going to do like Sports Center and all the big names, Jimmy Fallon show, all that stuff. Cody's going to do all the media, even the stuff that like on radio and stuff. Like Roman's not going to be the local stuff. Yeah. I'm saying like he's going to be doing the local stuff. Roman's only going to be doing like the big stuff. Like I feel like Roman at this point is just. It's just like you get him there, you have him on your TV to get people to buy the PLEs or to come to the arenas. Cody's the guy who you're like, hey, this is WWE, this is Cody Rhodes. We're going to put you on this billboard here. We're going to put you with this sponsorship here. So I feel like Cody is the guy, but Roman might be more popular, but that's only because he is a special attraction and he has earned that from his Tribal Chief run. So I would say Cody is still like the guy, the face of WWE, the guy who's going to be on all the billboards, doing all the media, which is something that a lot of people don't really talk about when they talk about the face of the company. They just want to talk about like the numbers they pull in for the ratings and all that stuff and merchandise sales, but they don't account the media. So I think it's still Cody, but at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is probably going to always be more popular than Cody Rhodes to like the public.
Do you think Roman being there a lot more, do you think that's kind of a threat to Cody as far as like he might be coming back for that spot?
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's coming back for the local shit, bro. I don't think Roman wants to do that. Like if you like just looking at how he carries himself, like I don't see Roman Reigns going to Columbus and doing the local radio station. I don't see him doing it. I don't think he wants to do that because like he's only going to go where they pay him the most, that gets the most attraction, the most engagement. Right. Yeah, and he's already done that stuff. And plus, like, yeah, it's like I just don't think he'll do that.
I'll just say to that point, Nate. I asked my program director when WWE came to Lafayette. I was like, "Hey, can we get Roman Reigns?" And he laughed at me.
Oof. I ain't doing that shit.
He legitimately but laughed at me.
I think before you go, Mo, I think for me, what's really going to help determine it for me, honestly, is really also how they're used. Because there's certain bookings that we've seen them do with Cody for certain matches that I feel they would have never done with Roman Reigns. You know what I mean?
I was
Like-
gonna get to that later. Yeah.
the Pat McAfee Jelly Roll stuff. Like I don't see them treating Roman Reigns like that, and I also think that kind of matters a bit. And if we're seeing from, let's say now to SummerSlam, you know, because some people think that Roman's only going to hold the title to SummerSlam, so let's say that's going to be his run. If he's main eventing the shows and the world title feels bigger than the WWE title during that time, that's also going to kind of make me look at it as like, I don't know, man. Maybe they feel like they got to retract back to Roman, because I'm not gonna lie. On Raw, when I saw that the bloodline was coming back, I'm kind of like, I think they're going back to this shit so they can kind of help the views come back in. Because after the bloodline, you could say, I guess, fell off after WrestleMania 40, they took a step back from it. And, you know, for some people, the product was becoming like, you know, different, and, you know, just things were changing. You could tell it just was changing for certain things, right? And I wasn't thinking they were going to do the bloodline stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, Roman's going to do his own thing. You know, I'm like, it's going to be cool. But then, like, immediately they were like, yeah, bloodline, babyface run, we're doing that shit. Like, we're going to get it started right after WrestleMania. So that for me was like, oh, like they haven't had the babyface run yet. We've seen the bad guy run, but they haven't done the babyface run of it yet. So when they first put it on TV right after Mania, I'm like, oh, they might be really taking this shit serious. Like, because, you know, Roman said one thing, he was like, yeah, you're going to see me do the summer. But of course, we're all like, yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see. Like, we'll see how much you're really there. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh. And then they brought up Backlash immediately. So I'm like, oh, he doing Backlash for sure? So I'm like, oh, shit. Like, this really might be like, he might be, because I think both guys truly believe they're the guy. Like, if you ask Roman, he's going to say it's him. If you ask Cody, he's going to say it's him. So I think both guys believe they're the guy. But I think what we see through now into the summer, I think is what's going to determine, at least for me, like who they view in that spot. Because they can, you know, WWE can come out and say, like, this is our guy, but like we all can, we watch the shows, we can tell, you know what I'm saying, who they treat differently. And the booking, I do think, plays a little bit of a factor into it for me personally. So what do you think, Mo?
I was just gonna say, I feel like this question is gonna depend. Like, the answer to this question depends on if Roman's full-time run is going to be permanent. Like, after he loses the championship, is he going to be full-time after that? You know, he could, like you said, he could lose the championship by SummerSlam and then go back to being part-time. You know, this could be like that one last full-time run. If it is the case that he's back full-time, you know, permanently, it could be a situation like it's an Austin Rock type of thing where it's 1A, 1B. It could be that. Because they've put most of their eggs into the Cody Rhodes basket over the last 2 years. Even though they've done a lot of stupid shit that I'll get to. You know, I think it's going to be a thing where it's like a Rock Austin thing. If Roman sticks around. If this is just like Roman's last big run, like last full-time run, I think it's still going to be Cody Rhodes, the guy that they build the company around, basically, and build all the media and all that stuff around.
Go ahead, Lynn. Let's put your 2 cents in.
I agree with Nate, man. Like, I think he's a special attraction. Like, I think he's earned that right. I think it's when you hear his name, like, it's like, okay, he's here. He adds to things. Like, to me, it's back before, you know, as much as we don't like the guy, it's Brock Lesnar-y. Like, and that's what Roman is. He is the special attraction that you call. And I also agree with Jade. I think CM Punk has a claim to this as well. Like, even though I'm the Cody guy, it's hard to say who doesn't get the biggest pops is CM Punk. And the merch sells. It's true. You got to look at those numbers. But I'm still going to go with Cody because with every sponsor, he's the face of it. And to me, that shows they're putting their money where their mouth is. And, like, when you look at Drumstick, Minute Maid, everyone who is in that ring, they have a Cody Rhodes product. They don't have anyone else outside of, like, maybe Slim Jim with LA Knight. But besides that, even Cody Rhodes has a Slim Jim product, which is crazy. It should just be LA Knight, but that goes to show who they value. So that's just my last little 2 cents.
Jay, what do you want to throw out there?
Yeah, well, I'll throw out my next point, but also just to put a cap on that conversation, what you said, bringing the bloodline back to fix ratings. I'm just going to say it's a really bad look for Triple H if the minute he feels panicked, he goes back to the bloodline, which wasn't even really his idea, but that's neither here nor there. And that kind of bleeds into my first take. And everyone in chat's wanting us to talk about the releases, so this will give us the opportunity to do that. Triple H is either an imbecile or a spineless coward or both. There is no universe where he's not one of those two things, and he might be both. listen, we all love R-Truth. He did not deserve to get fired when he got fired. Damian Priest is a former world champion and super talented. I have no issue with Damian Priest. But to be running a show where you think so little of your tag team division that Damian Priest and R-Truth are your current tag team champions, while simultaneously releasing one of the proven best tag teams of all time, who you haven't even had on TV except to watch Johnny Gargano plink on equipment boxes in the back. And then I can't help but feel the tremendous disrespect to Bray Wyatt's legacy, to milk everything they could out of that lantern in a story. And the second he gets it back, all right, that's good. You guys can take off. We're done without you for now. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And the reason I say either an imbecile or spineless or both is because every single release, minus the NXT Performance Center releases that, weren't really doing anything, and Apollo Crews, who was the president of catering, and now he can go on and do whatever he wants to do. Every one of those top name stars that were released could have helped a problem that WWE has with their on-screen programming right now. And now they're just gone. So he's either an imbecile not to realize that, or he's a spineless coward, because he either was involved in that call to release all of those people, or it was TKO. And he didn't have the gumption to stand up and say, you know what, these are my guys. I feel like this is a mistake. We can talk about where else we can save money or whatever, but I feel like these guys are a good way to fix the problems that we have right now. So that's my overall take. Triple H is either a nitwit or he's a coward, or both.
Can I respond to a comment? Because I can already tell the direction of this bullshit. He said Motor City Machine Guns wrestled at Rumble to zero reaction. It's because they followed an hour-plus long Royal Rumble. They did the same thing to Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss the year before. That means nothing. That doesn't take away from how good they are.
Preach.
At all. At all.
Facts.
But yeah, you guys go ahead.
I think it's the
It's
second
just
one.
dumb as hell.
Jade. I think
Yeah,
I think he's spineless.
For me, this is the tough part about this, because who's really calling things for real? Is it Triple H
According to
or is it TKO?
according to TKO, it's them.
It's them, bro.
And this is the tough part that I feel like Triple H has to be in, because he doesn't own the company. Like when WWE was making bad decisions before our releases, we all knew Vince was in charge, right? It was his company, so he has the final say over everything. So it's like everything has to run through him to get approved or to get denied. You know what I mean? With Triple H, you have a spot in head of creative, but how much power is that really, though? It's a creative position, but like, are there people still above him who can make certain decisions that he can't really control? So is he in a position where he's like, hey, we should do this, and then people are above him can be like, yeah, we should probably do this instead. And then he's like, he has no say in it. Like, well, I don't think that's a good idea, but it's not my company still. I can't really have that type of voice, that type of power over certain people that are above me, which that's where it really is the hard part to really know about these certain things, because I feel when you look at what he did in NXT and then like the first 2 years of when he took over the main roster, it felt like those were things that he envisioned. Vince was already been said that he didn't really pay attention to NXT when, it was his developmental brand, but there's plenty of wrestlers that said that, there's a reason that their names were getting changed or their characters were getting changed, because he didn't watch NXT, so he didn't know what they were. He didn't understand their presentation. He didn't understand anything about them. So when they were coming up to the main roster, he was changing them because his vision was different than what they were already presented as. And then when Triple H comes up to the main roster, he fixes certain things, and then he continued to do certain things that were already being done within WWE to continue that momentum for it. So it felt like, okay, these are things that he has envisioned. These are things that he wants to do. And he brought back Bray Wyatt, and just a multitude of other things, right? Then after Mania 40, it seems like maybe TKO stepping in a little bit more. Maybe they're jacking up the ticket prices. Maybe they're saying, hey, we're going to do this, but we also want to do this, because I personally just find it hard to believe, for me personally, that Triple H sat down in a creative meeting and said, how can we make this Cody and Randy shit better? Well, let's add Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll. I just don't believe that's something that he would do. I can't believe that he would sit down in a creative room and say, let's add Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll to a feud that he's very aware of, considering that he brought Randy into Legacy. He knows Cody's history with his father and everything. So he understands the history of it. I just don't believe he sat down in a creative meeting and said, these two guys are going to make this feud better. Let's add it for WrestleMania. I think that was something that was done above him that he could have spoke about. But at the end of the day, it's like you speak about it, but it's either going to be done whether you like it or not. So it's kind of like you're a boss, but you also have somebody that is above you in authority, so you can speak your voice. But in the end, if that's going to be done at the end of the day, there's not really much you can still do about it. So it's really kind of tough to say for me is if whether he's both or one or the other, because I still feel like we really don't know who's making these big, powerful decisions. TKO is coming out and saying they're doing certain shit, but then of course it's like, okay, what kind of shit are they really doing though? Are they just running the entire creative? Because they said they got what was it they said, Mo, that they have a say
They
in
literally
all
said
creative?
we have full control over creative. Out of the mouth of Mark Shapiro himself. It's not from Meltzer. It wasn't from Fightful. None of that shit. Straight from the horse's mouth. That they,
Yes,
they
but
have
like, what does
full
that mean?
creative.
Are they making these decisions? Then are they
But I
running
will
the
say
creative?
that doesn't absolve Triple H of everything. I will say that.
Right,
It doesn't
right.
absolve him of everything. But
That's why he's spineless.
most of my blame goes towards TKO. That's just me. Most of my blame goes towards that. But Triple H does deserve some blame at the same time. I will say that.
I think everything y'all just said explains why he's spineless. Like it has to be that. Like as much as I don't want to say it, it has to be that because it's like if you made this call to bring these people in, and when it was working, everything's cool. But now it's not working. They're not getting the clicks. But you're not gonna go bad for them. So it has to be you're spineless. You're not an idiot. You've proved you're not an idiot. We know you're not that. But it's you're not speaking up for certain people, and you're allowing these people to run it. And at some point he has to say, okay, is my legacy and what I'm viewed as more important than me taking the sword every time? Because he's taking the sword every time. He has to. He's the face. They bring him out as the chief creative content officer. So you're gonna have to take the sword if you don't want to be. Exactly, he is every single time. And to Jade's point, if you don't want to be considered spineless, you need to say something. But until he says something, you are spineless. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I agree with that.
I will say, I know when it comes to like the big like main event pictures, like we can point at TKO, but I don't believe in any world that Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro are sitting in creative rooms and making decisions on the men's tag team division on SmackDown. They're not making decisions about that mid card, about the women's division. Like we can let Triple H slide for the main event, but that means you should have a banging mid card. You should have a banging tag division because they're not looking at fucking Carmelo Hayes and be like, nah, we don't think that's the guy. Like, no, they don't give a fuck because they don't know who Carmelo Hayes is because they're only gonna make decisions on the guys they actually know. They're gonna make decisions when it comes to Roman, Cody, Punk, Randy, Rhea, like the top dogs. So when it comes to Kairi Sane, they're not going to make those decisions. It is still Triple H's fault why the New Day's heel turn was fucking ass. Why it fell flat. TKO did not step in and was like, actually, let's give him a new theme song. Let's change it. Let's have him wear all black. Let's put Grayson. No, they don't know who the fuck Grayson Waller is. That's Triple H. So when it comes to the main events, I can give Triple H grace. But why the fuck is your mid card so boring? Why is SmackDown as a whole so fucking ass? Outside of the main event scene, why is it so fucking ass? You suck. I'm sorry. Let's just call a spade at this point, dog. You fucking suck. If you can't book a mid-card, at least, to be entertaining, a tag team division, at least, to be entertaining, I do not believe that TKO said, hey, let's have the Wyatt Six and the MFTs feud over a fucking lantern for 6 months. I do not believe they had any say. I don't think they give a single fuck about Bray Wyatt's lantern unless they can sell it on WWEshop.com for like $500,000. I don't think they give a fuck. So I'm blaming Triple H for everything below the main event scene because TKO doesn't know what the fuck a mid-card is. They don't even know what that term even means. But as far as like these releases go, I've heard that it's kind of an input of Triple H and Nick Khan. I can't really speak on how Triple H feels. Like, I think Triple H just looked at his entire roster and he was just like, we got to release X amount of superstars. Let's let these guys go. These guys are kind of going nowhere. He probably looked at as bad as a fumble as Motor City Machine Guns is, and the fact that they had pretty much a nothing run. I think he looked at them was like, they're old. Like, they're one of my oldest tag teams. We still got these younger tag teams. Unfortunately, I got to let y'all go. And he probably signed them at a pretty damn good price. So that's probably one of the reasons why he let him go. But I can't speak for him solely. But I think Triple H is an imbecile. I think he is an imbecile. Because why the fuck is your mid-card division not cooking right now? Like, that's all I got to say.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair as fuck. To your point, Nate, about the Nick Khan thing, I definitely think they look at numbers and like analytics and shit and see who's bringing in the numbers, and it's like it's not worth it. And just the chat saying like they brought in AEW guys, I definitely think they thought Aleister Black was gonna bring numbers, and he did not, and he had to go.
No,
That part's weird to me though. The fact that they were just pitching in creative that they were gonna put him in the Randy Orton and Cody storyline. They were just like, all right, never mind, nigga. Go home.
Yeah,
What?
They said Pat McAfee got that slot, nigga. You got to go.
Yeah, you gotta go. Like, what? All right, bro.
Pack it up.
Also, I got people in chat telling me that the Machine Guns getting released was justified because they were in their 40s. I need y'all to go check Damien and our Truth Sages real quick.
Facts.
Remember, those are the
What
guys
does
at the top of that
Damien-
division, and I need you to just report back to me, okay? Thanks.
Can I just say something real quick? I don't know why people are so adamant. Like, you're 40, you shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be in like a top spot. You shouldn't be in a prominent position. Undertaker hit a fucking second prime at 42.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. If you're producing good quality, I don't give a fuck how old you are.
Right.
I don't care at all. Y'all gotta drop that bullshit. I'm sorry. Y'all gotta drop that.
go ahead, Mo. You want to give your take on this, or
I mean, spineless is probably the right word for it. I don't think he's a complete imbecile, but he does make some dumb decisions even before TKO came around. The Austin Theory cash-in. But
that was terrible?
He really thought that was a good idea.
He
Spineless,
thought he ate with that.
spineless is probably the word I'd go for. Like, in these situations, like Malik brought it up, and I like legacy. What the main guy that they were feuding with was Triple H. Even when Triple H and Orton were done, he transitions to DX versus Legacy. Like, I don't believe for a second that he's the one fucking up that story. I don't believe that for a second. But him not speaking up in situations like that, like that just comes off a little bit spineless. Like, you've ruined what was I think like 5 years from now, we're gonna look back at Randy and Cody's story and be like, how did you fuck that up? How? Like, the fact that they didn't have a single face-to-face promo that entire WrestleMania build is so fucking nasty. That's so like, they had an opportunity to do that on the go home. Instead, they just had CM Punk and Cody Rhodes telling each other how much they love each other.
Yeah. My thing is
Like,
too,
it's just, he needs to speak up. That's all it is. He just needs to speak up.
to add to that point. I mean, who's to say that he's not though for certain things? Like, what if it doesn't matter what he says sometimes?
That is true.
Okay,
No,
so
no.
if that's the case, let me just stop right there, and you can keep going in a second, Malik. If he cares about the business half as much as he says he does, and if I were in his shoes, understanding that I've made enough money that my kids are never going to want for anything in their lives, and if this is the best thing for the business, it's the best thing for the business. I would like to think that a guy of Triple H's stature who came up in this business and bleeds this business, if he was told, hey, thanks for your feedback, we're going to do it anyway, I'd like to think that a man like that might stand up and say, well, if you do this, it's with my resignation. I mean, I know that's a lot. I know that's big. But the fact of the matter is, if TKO are making these decisions, if TKO are butting their noses in on stuff they don't need to be butting their noses in for, then really all they're doing right now is they're just testing the waters. They're seeing what Triple H will let them get away with. They're seeing what they can do without WWE saying, hey, maybe you guys are taking this a step too far. And if at some point somebody doesn't stand up and say, if you make us do this, it's with my resignation, it's just going to get worse. So that doesn't make me feel any better about it, trying to give Triple H an out by saying, what if he did say something and it didn't matter? Then do something else. So no, that doesn't excuse it in the least. Especially again considering the fact that he's really got nothing to lose at that point because of where he's at in life and how well he's done. I don't give him that out. I'm sorry, I can't.
And he don't have nothing to
Yeah,
lose
Mr.
because he
Burnett,
got
who's
stock in
wrong?
TKO. Like he has stock in the company.
And I will say, I mean, it does
Yo.
get to a certain point where you have to think, when is it that time? Like, how long before they actually push Triple H out and they're just like,
Right.
you're just a
Mhm.
face, like they're
Yeah.
doing Dana White. Like, you got no power here. You're just We're gonna have our own guys. We're gonna hire our own creative team, and you're just gonna be out there for the press conferences and to open the shows because you're a recognizable face. Like, how long? Because
Yeah.
I can see them doing that. I don't see with
Say
the
welcome
direction-
to WrestleMania and get back behind your desk.
exactly. Like I don't see him in the next 5 years having any power in WWE. And I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying that's the direction it's going. Because if they're doing this now, if they're inserting Pat McAfee in a main event, a WrestleMania main event, and they are admitting openly that we have creative control, like this is just the beginning. Like in 5 years, like I said, I truly don't think Triple H is going to have any power when it comes to the creative input of WWE.
Yeah,
He'll just be a
so
legend that we know.
I guess it's a perspective of how you would view it and look at it. I mean, I think him walking out is it's kind of crazy if you ask me. I mean, that's a
He
career.
cares about the
so it's
business half as much as he says he does. I mean that's all.
I mean, yeah, but it's like who's gonna walk out of their career that they've done his pretty much his entire life.
I mean, he could
say.
find,
His
he could
entire adult
literally,
life, yeah.
I mean, he could literally work somewhere else.
Bro,
Like,
he could, but he's not leaving.
He
them.
could go to
Tony Khan
NWA and
hire
fix
him?
their shit.
Nah, bro, I don't even think it's. I don't even think it's
Tony
something.
Khan
I don't even think it's something like that, Mo. I think he has enough carte blanche and enough pull. I think he could go to one of these companies and be like, "Let's do something." I think he could. I truly.
Of course,
think
I
he
mean,
can start his own promotion.
Like,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying,
Boy.
Nate. I think he could go to Peacock and be like, "Let's do something."
He could obviously leave and go do something, but he's not
Game
doing
time
it.
wrestling.
Like he's been with the WWE
I do black
for
and gold. Let's get it.
3 generations now, and he's been probably waiting for a spot like this because he's been in the family for 2 generations. So he's always assumed this was going to be my spot. He probably was told, maybe even behind the scenes, like, "Hey, it's going to be yours, one day." Like it pretty much was kind of set in stone when he was in NXT. Like, this is going to be yours one day. I think he even cut promos about it on TV. Like, this is going to be my shit one day. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be mine. So I don't think another
But
company.
it's not even his though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, he could still be borrowing, waiting his time. I mean, who knows? Like, I don't think another company
I
coming
don't
in
know.
is going
Main
to
event of
force
WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia is going to be I Show Speed versus Jelly Roll, but at least my paycheck says CFO in it. Yep, that's great. Awesome. I just can't give
I
him
wish
that
I had
out.
the
I'm
sign
not
ready.
doing it.
I mean, that's just y'all. But for me, it's just like a business is a business at the end of the day. So like, you have to work for somebody at the end. And if your voice, if you're having a say, but you still have people that you work for, then you still have people you have to work for at the end of the day. That's how life goes.
Well,
So,
yeah, but it's
and-
not
and
about
obviously-
it's not about having a boss. It's about what those bosses are. Like, I don't think Triple H
Right.
would mind having a boss if the bosses were actually fucking competent about the
Their
product
bots.
of professional wrestling. Yeah.
Right, and I understand that, but my point is too, like, there's certain things that he still may have to do that even though he may not want to do, and he could speak up about that. But at the end of the day, if this is what is going to be done, it's what's going to be done. And I think he's used to that because it's how it was before he took over. When Vince was running the ship, Vince, oh, this is not good. We don't want this. Vince was like, well, fuck it. We're doing it anyway. All right, well, okay, guess this is what we're doing. If it was up to Kurt Angle, he would have retired to John Cena, but he said, "Oh, you're fighting Baron Corbin, so you either take it or not."
You have
All
to
right,
wait
well,
a year.
I guess you have to fight Baron Corbin then. I mean, it just is what it is. It's what I have to do. It's what
Nah, for sure. It's definitely. I mean, it depends on what he wants to do. Like you had the spot in control. Like, do you want to just listen to those people, or do you want to do something else? That's the question it comes down to for him as a person.
Yeah. I'm froze on us.
Oh yeah, Malik definitely froze.
You might as well just
damn.
give your take right now, Lynn.
That's great. Somebody should get a
That's
screenshot.
a
TKO
crazy
froze that boy.
Yeah.
That's a wild freeze. Will he be able to get back in? Isn't he running this
I'm
live?
Oh,
Okay.
there
There
we
it
go.
is.
it was a wild freeze, bro. I don't know what happened to that. Wild freeze. Y'all, everybody still can hear me?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
you.
you good.
At the end of the day, I think Triple H has the double-edged sword, though. Anything that happens good in WWE, he's going to get the praise for. Anything bad that happens in WWE, he's going to take the downfall for it. He has the double-edged sword right now. Like, whenever something good happens, first thing you see people online talk about Triple H. Like Triple H did this. He's cooking again. Like he's doing great things. Anytime anything bad happens in WWE, Triple H, you're terrible. You got to get out of there. You're losing control of your job. Like he has the double-edged sword effect.
But this isn't a bad booking decision. This isn't the wrong
If
person
it's
going
anything
over
bad, though,
WrestleMania.
bad is going to fall
But
on
no,
him.
but Malik, there are levels to it. You
Anything
you
he has the
can't-
double-edged sword. You can't deny that. That's a fact. He has the double-edged sword.
all right.
Anything bad that happens in the company, you always see it on social media, whether it's a booking, whether it's a release, it's Triple H's fault. You see it all over.
I don't know. Poor Triple H. Poor Triple H.
But anytime anything good
Power
happens, it falls on him too. It's a double-edged sword.
and never
Anytime
gets
something
enough
good
credit.
happens in the company, anytime something good happens in the
Jay not
company,
trying to hear none of that.
It's like I'm not trying to hear this shit, nigga.
Because I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Poor Triple H is all
Nigga
I got
hates
to
more
say.
Triple H more than me.
It's not poor Triple H. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. It's
Damn,
true.
you might hate Triple H more than Maven. Goddamn.
I just think
I
to
hate Paul Levesque,
to
though,
loop
Triple
in. I just think to box in and to loop in, holding him accountable for poor booking or ignoring the tag division or whatever. To box that in with bending over and let TKO make him call them daddy. I feel like there's two different things going on there. I mean, I've reached the
I
point
beg
in
your
the
pardon?
conversation where I've lost all sensibility. I just
What do you mean by
I feel like we need to cut that in half. Have a conversation when it comes to booking and program quality and things like that, and say, okay, do we need to balance it a little bit more versus just lumping that in all together? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said,
So it goes
I
to my point.
understand
Double-edged sword.
that a business is a business. I understand that everyone's got a boss. But the thing that I've always loved, and I know we got other stuff to move on to, but the thing that I've always loved about professional wrestling and the thing that I respect about professional wrestling more than anything else is that it's always been this brotherhood. I can think back to Undertaker trying to choke somebody out on live TV because they called one of the other wrestlers, fake and shit like that. And now we're just letting this conglomerate of TKO just come in and make these determinations and directly impacting the programming is just silly to me. But anyway, that was my take. I'm glad that went over well.
And do we blame Vince for selling the company too? Because wasn't he part of that?
We just go slide past that, bro.
I mean,
I was gonna let it go, but y'all still on it. Bro.
That's theory would just laughing.
Bro, I'm laughing because of these two motherfuckers, bro.
I was gonna bypass it. I was just gonna let it go. I was
Nigga said daddy, bro. I
These two niggas, bro.
can't.
that was I wasn't able to get my do-rag out, but that was a little bit of do-rag Jade slipping out.
That
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
Durag Jade ass.
That was yeah, for sure.
That was do-rag Jade slipping out.
Oh shit. That needed that fucking laugh, bro. Oh shit.
All right, so I got something fun for us. We were having.
Go ahead. Let's move on. Go
Since I
ahead.
got something fun for us, who's the best AEW champion to y'all
Of all time?
Kenny.
of all time? Yeah, best
Okay.
AEW champion.
Ooh,
And I think
ooh.
my
Kenny or
answer
Mox?
is Moxley.
It's Kenny or Mox.
we're doing like
my
combined
answer's gonna be
reigns,
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't
or
think about
just like
that.
one single reign.
my answer is gonna be different then, because I think the most interesting the title for me ever felt was when MJF had it.
See, I was thinking. About
Really?
It felt the most important, and it felt like it was must watch when he had the title. Maybe not. You said like the second the run he just had, but like
that. The first one.
the first one.
Yeah.
The run he just had was fantastic before they.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
like
was
it was good, but like if you think about the title, I think people are gonna think about his first one, like the
Oh
first
yeah,
one,
yeah.
Like
You
Mox
could-
has
you
had
could
some
do
good
combined
reigns.
Nate. You could do.
Mox has
combined.
had some good reigns, and Kenny, I think Kenny would be up there as well because he had
Such
a
a
really
good
good reign. But like
Such a good reign.
I think MJF, when they're talking like character stories and stuff, like I would say he had the best quality. I think.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say I think
CM Punk.
Hangman. I think Hangman probably deserves to be in that conversation.
First sign of the day.
I think Hangman probably deserves to be in that conversation, but I think my gut reaction would probably be MJ. I think when MJF is champion, AEW feels bigger because he just brings so much attention to AEW that doesn't necessarily exist when he doesn't have the belt.
The fuck's my Mario Kart?
That's my text message tone. It's Pokemon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm uncultured.
So just to be different, I guess I'd probably say Hangman Page, but I can't really argue MJF.
I think
What you got, Nate or Mo? One of y'all.
the thing holding Mox back. Oh, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, dog. I'm still thinking. I ain't gonna lie.
I was gonna say that I think the thing holding Mox back for me, like he would be like my number one solidified answer. It's the majority of this last run. That was oof.
Yeah.
But
Bad. And people try to
when
rewrite
you
history,
think
but that's
about-
true. Mm-mm.
when you think about like who's really like held it down to like during like tough times, it's Mox. Like pandemic, he was the champion most of that run, until Kenny took it.
The CM
And
Punk
then
shit.
it was when CM Punk happened. They were like, "Look, bro,
Mox.
I know you're about to go on vacation, but look,
And
He
He's
was,
still-
he, he was
vacation.
doing that without a contract too. That's the crazy thing.
it's like he was going through like some tough times as champion and was producing high quality work even during that pandemic era. Even like and most of the time he's had the belt, especially that interim run when CM Punk got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He was having bangers on Dynamite week after week. Like that was amazing.
That's why I
But-
picked him, Mo, for sure.
It's either him or Kenny for me though. It's either him or Kenny.
If
But I'm not
we,
mad at that MJF take
yeah.
Malik said because that's real,
not.
bro.
It's not
Like,
real. 'Cause
He
that-
was
I mean,
cooking.
it's
He was
real.
cooking.
I think Kenny's single reign was fantastic, especially when he was the belt collector. I thought that was really good. That was a really fun reign. But I gotta agree with Malik. When MJF has it, it just feels like AEW's must watch. Like that first reign was pretty damn good. Like his match with Kenny was fantastic. He had a lot of good bangers in there. Like towards the end, it got a little mushy because of the stuff Adam Cole didn't really work out to what they were what they wanted because of the injury. But when Adam Cole was healthy, that was like the best thing in wrestling at the time. Like that was like Better Than You, Baby was so freaking
So fun.
amazing.
watch
One
it
of my
weekly,
favorite
bro.
tag teams of all time. Yeah, bro. It might be the best Can They Coexist. But it's like between that and Team Hell No. Like that's like neck
I
and
was
neck.
about
Like
to
those
say
are
I put Team
those are
Hell
like-
number one, but
those are like two of the best like Can They Coexist tag teams. Like that was fantastic. But then in the run was a little But I'm gonna go MJF because I think over time with both reigns, I think he did feel, I don't want to say more important than Kenny, but he felt more important to AEW than Kenny because Kenny was already established outside of AEW when he had the belt collector gimmick. So people already knew that Kenny was this guy and he could be a world champion. We weren't really sure if MJF could be a world champion yet, if he could really hold it down like that, and he did it twice, even though that second ring got cut very short. I think if he would have kept the belt, if you would have kept that on him for like even just the rest of the year, like I think he would have had one of the greatest world title runs of all time at the direction he was going. I think it was only two, but he had two banging. Well, I didn't really like the death match, but that's because I don't like death matches. But a lot of people praise that death match. Like, I can't deny like the storytelling they had within it, like towards the end and all that stuff, and like what they did to each other. And like his first match, what was his first? Fuck, I'm slipping on who was his first defense.
When he
In the
just won it
second
right now?
No,
The
yeah,
last
the
one?
second one.
The second one was Kenny.
No, not the
Yeah.
second one. I'm talking about the first one. The first
Oh.
defense he had.
It was oh shit. Okay.
It's fucking banging ass match. I forgot who the fuck that
I
was.
forget who it
remember.
is.
Was Hangman his first defense?
No, he
Am
won
I
it
tripping?
off of Hangman with the death match. I'm pretty sure. Oh no
No,
no
he
no no
retained.
no
He
no no no.
retained.
Hey, Hangman, what the death match was the first defense.
this is
Because
That's
Yeah.
not supposed to
made
first.
the
Okay,
war for
okay,
me.
okay. I was thinking because he won it.
Because he won it at the
That's
four
why.
way off of Samoa
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
Right.
I feel like he has some matches
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Dynamite that I'm forgetting about.
He definitely did, bro. He did, and like
But anyway, I can't remember because it's Dynamite, and they have so many freaking crazy matches on Dynamite. But either way, like I feel like when he has the belt, like he was putting on like some very very good matches.
Bandito.
Like Bandito, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Bandito was
yes,
cool. That was
yes,
good.
yes.
That was good.
It felt like he was going to a Ric Flair esque like area with his world title and just put it on fantastic matches.
I think the biggest thing that puts MJF over too is that he does all the stuff that Cody does for WWE. He does the TV appearances, and the podcast, and the radio interviews, and he almost never leaves that character either. So when you tune into AEW, you're seeing the same guy on screen that you just heard on the podcast or the radio or whatever. So yeah, MJF probably be my pick.
It's funny with that point, Jade. I think the MJF Mox conversation is the Roman Cody conversation, but for AEW. Whereas I think Mox is the Roman in the sense that he's big time. He doesn't have to do any of the thing. He can go to New Japan, win the championship, bring it back to AEW, defend it, do all that. Doesn't have to be there, but he will be. And then I think MJF's the one doing all the media, the acting, bringing the notoriety to AEW.
That's a good cook. That's very good. Very fitting for MJF too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whose question was that? No, okay, so
Nate was
it's me, and it's funny that we're talking about AEW.
Oh, we're doing Snake. Got it.
It's funny. All right, mine is there is no excuse to confuse AEW with WWE in 2026. Listen, I've seen too many posts where people will post about AEW and they'd be like, "Oh shit, I dropped my shit." And they'll be like, "Oh, this WWE stuff is crazy." I'm like, brother, I get it. Before the pandemic, I understand it. I completely understand it. It's a very new thing. We are pushing a decade of AEW. It is not WWE. And look, I'm not talking about the people who walk down the street, they see a poster, they think AEW, WWE. No, I'm talking about the people who literally take time to take a clip from AEW. You take time to edit. You edit text. You edit sounds. You edit all these great effects. And you can't take 2 seconds to go on Google and ask, is AEW WWE? It is one thing to walk down the street and be confused. It's another to make a whole ass post about AEW being WWE. Can we please do research? We have so much AI at our fingertips. We got, Grok on Twitter. We got Chat GPT. We have Google. We have YouTube. Literally, you have AI at your fingertips. It is free. Please use it. Please ask before you make a dumbass post calling AEW WWE. Even a dyslexic person would tell you that those 3 letters do not say WWE. They may not say AEW, but they definitely not gonna tell you that shit's WWE. Please read the 3 letters on your screen. That is my TED Talk. Thank you.
I'll respond first just because I'm going to have the quickest response because I haven't really run into that a whole lot. But I will just say that it used to get on my nerves all the time. So I used to be in a rock band and we would cover like AC/DC, Motley Crue and stuff. And my mom she wasn't involved in it. So when she'd ask me about the band, she'd be like, "Oh, you guys still covering Metallica or whatever?" I'll be like, "Mom, they are 2 different things. They are not the same thing." And even though it's all wrestling, people have just gotten used to using WWE as a blanket term for wrestling. But yeah, it's important to differentiate the 2 because they are 2 very different products with very different on-screen presentations and different target demographics and everything. So yeah, I find it silly to morph the 2 together like that. That's weird.
I haven't seen too much of that myself either, to be completely honest. But I mean, if you're confusing the 2 companies, like that's kind of crazy if you ask me. Like, if you watch AEW,
I've seen a few, bro. I'm like, bro.
If you watch AEW and you watch WWE weekly or even occasionally, you could tell that the companies are very different. Like they're not booked the same, they're not used the same. It's very different, and that's a good thing. They should be different, but
yeah,
that's crazy. I've never seen
I've seen that, bro. I made a video about it. I still got it in the drafts. I need to release that video because
Mo, if you don't have nothing to say about that, you can go to your first topic.
Yeah, my only response to that would be open up the schools because y'all niggas can't read. But
Linda McMahon's in charge of the schools, bro. You see
that's true. That's true.
Oh God. But my first take of today is that I think Obafemi needs to get the 2002 Brock Lesnar push. There's no reason, and I talked about it on TikTok. There's no reason in a couple years we're not talking about Obafemi's main roster rookie year the way we talk about Brock's, the way we talk about Kurt's. Mm-hmm. No reason. That man to me is beyond ready. I've seen a couple people try to flip it and be like, he's not ready. He's not. What is he missing? D-Man, what is he missing? Nothing. He got the in-ring. We've seen the bangers in NXT. He can clearly cut a promo perfectly fine, and if not good, you know what I'm saying? He's got the crowd connection, and he has the presentation of somebody that you Brock Lesnar to the top. There's no reason he's not in those conversations in a few years. Now, I'm not just saying this because we both West African. That motherfucker deserves it, bro. He's proven that. The Brock feud to me, especially that last promo on the Go Home Raw, I was like, yeah, he's ready. Yeah.
My thing is too with the argument of how do you know somebody's not ready unless you give them that opportunity?
That is also true.
I mean, sometimes you can tell when certain people aren't ready. Like, you know, when they were trying to, for example, like when they were trying to push Roman in the beginning, you were kind of like,
Jack Swagger.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that Roman Reigns stuff. You know, he's not ready yet.
Don't
But
remind me of Big Dog Roman right now.
eventually, though, like you got to give somebody an opportunity, and if they fail, then that's on them. You know, if they failed, then at least you tried. But like you're just gonna wait forever or just not do it. That doesn't make sense. That's how you don't build stars for the future. You know, when they brought in Kurt Angle, if you really want to be technical, when they brought in Kurt Angle, he wasn't ready for that push when they first brought him in. He was still trying to figure shit out.
He said it himself.
He was still trying to figure out what the business was, but he picked it up. You know what I'm saying? He found he got hip to it and he became good. Brock, you maybe say the same in the beginning too. Was Brock really ready for that push in the beginning? Maybe not, but nigga was ready when they gave it to him. Shit, I'm gonna take it. You feel me? I don't know the last time I felt something different about a superstar where I'm like, bro, if they fuck this up, this is gonna be like generational bad. Like,
yep.
You know, I mean, obviously we've all talked about Braun Breaker. You know, obviously we all kind of figured he was gonna be, you know, in a prominent spot, but like Obafemi has something to him where I'm looking at him like, even if you don't want to make him the face of your brand, if he's not a main event guy for the next 10 years, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You literally have somebody special hand it to you on a silver platter. All you have to do is just execute it at this point.
And the thing about Oba, I was going to say real quick, the thing about Oba, he seems like he's way more committed to this than what Brock Lesnar was. Because remember, we only had 2 years of Brock in the beginning. You only got 2 years. Oba, I think I seen him say like he's going to be around a minute. Like he don't plan on retiring at all. Like he's gonna be.
He's not about to go to UFC, bro. He's not about to do none of that shit.
Exactly.
He's staying right there.
Exactly.
And the thing with the y'all know how I speak on Trick. The thing with that is he's not going. Oba's not going to act. Like he's not going to do none of that. He's gonna be here. Like he's gonna be here, 100%. I just want to ask Mo, who would you have him beat? I think that's the major thing. Do you have him beat Roman or do you
Roman Reigns?
Mm-hmm.
I think Roman or Cody honestly would be good for him at this point. I mean Roman would be a bigger like, oh shit, like you know,
be Roman and Brock in the same year.
I think he is there for Cody.
We talked about Cody being the guy, so like, and Cody doesn't lose much either. So if he beats Cody, like,
and
if you think about it too, if he's the first person to beat Cody, Cody hasn't lost clean since coming back.
That's facts.
So if he's the first person to beat Cody like without interference or like any help, I think that's pretty big too.
I just don't think that you do all that teasing at the press conferences about, you know, we'll see how you're at SummerSlam. And I don't think you do that if that's not the plan. So I think that's the plan. The reason, let's not even talk about the athleticism, the promo ability, all that stuff. All of that is there. Great wrestler. The reason I know that he is can't miss, you better not screw this up, is that Boyd's, he's got people out there, what I call fandangoing. I watched a highlight of a NHL Stanley Cup game the other night. They were playing that music and people in the crowd were doing this shit like that. And it reminds me of 2014 when everyone was doing this. And those are two different things because they're two different performers. But all I'm saying is that if you have someone who has the ability, has the size, has the look, has the promo game, and he's got people out there hundreds of miles away at an unrelated event doing his strut, that's a sign to me that you capitalize on that now. Don't give me none of this. Oh, make him a U.S. champion for the summer. Don't give me any of this. Oh, just hold off until the Royal Rumble. Don't give me any of that stuff right now. You strike while the iron is blazing hot, and if you don't, you're a bigger imbecile than I thought you were, Triple H. Sorry to bring it back.
No, you're right, bro. My
Nah,
fiance
facts,
goes
facts,
around the
facts,
house
facts,
doing the
facts.
strut, and she doesn't like any of these wrestling shit that I be watching. She'll be doing that strut, and she was ready to watch that nigga beat up Brock Lesnar. I was like, oh my gosh,
I've
Like,
never been so
damn.
hyped in my
he's
life,
right.
especially
Oh,
being in
yeah.
the arena. Oh boy,
Facts,
boy.
bro. Watching that.
I
nigga
was doing
beat
the
Lesnar
accent the
was-
whole
oof.
time. I was doing the accent the whole match.
Of
No,
course you were.
do it
Well,
to
Hey,
him.
you know what I was saying?
Put him
Shout
in
out
the
to
ground.
Dub. You know what I was
Put him
saying?
in
I
the
was saying
ground.
the whole time. Shout out to Dub. I was like, he ain't Kofi, nigga.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Also, too, you gotta think too. I know. I mean, me and some of my other friends were talking about this in a group chat the other day because there's been people posting about it throughout social media. There may become a point when, of course, the fans may turn on him because they turn on everybody, right? Like the
Yeah.
IWC
Yep.
switches up on everybody. But again, that didn't stop you from solidifying this man as a main event guy. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You have to
Yeah.
make new stars for the future.
Let him turn. Let him turn. Like,
Because at
shit.
that point, if you're gonna stop someone's push for that, then just don't push nobody. Like no one gets pushed because they literally turn on anyone who gets pushed. Like I know I hate on Danhausen, but they're gonna hate on Danhausen in three months, calling him corny. They're gonna say what I'm saying right now in 3 months when they was just saying you are cursed to the TV every single week.
I won't.
Like that's
I
how they move. Like I know
my
y'all
guy
cursed
love-
stay
he-
getting cooked on the internet.
He
Stay
cursed the Knicks. He cursed the Knicks. I'm very happy.
That's so crazy. That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Hey,
stand
I'm not
that
gonna lie,
kind of
Nate. If
cursing.
the Knicks lose, it's over. It's over for you. Danhausen through the roof.
I'm gonna
bro.
laugh so hard.
It's over.
I'm gonna laugh.
I mean,
so
they're
hard.
gonna lose anyway. But yeah, but
Who's the okay? Let me ask you this: who's the last?
just don't curse LeBron. If he curses LeBron, I'm gonna have to see him, bro. Like,
Please.
If he curses LeBron, I'm
Chill.
like, nah, bro. Nah.
No, he ain't gonna curse the Lakers, bro.
We're gonna have to see him. I'm gonna have to see you, Danhausen. if you
To
touch my
be quite
kid.
honest, I don't even know if you can curse LeBron. He still might.
Bro, he doing
41.
some
41 doing
crazy
some
shit,
crazy
right
shit,
now.
bro. Oh my god.
Throwing alley hoops to his
Yeah.
creative player. Like what? Like
Creative players,
Bro, I'm so close
I'm a
to
Rockets
switching
fan.
over
I
to
don't
the
want to
Brown
talk
side
about
of the
that
GOAT
shit right
debate.
now.
Like it's
I'm about
over.
to switch
For me, the
over.
Bro, it's
debate's
so crazy.
over.
At 41,
I'm about to
close
switch
this
over,
shit out,
bro. This shit is crazy.
I'm gonna feel
I'm
bad
about
for
to go
people who
over.
like if we have kids, we have to just tell them like, yeah, man.
Y'all didn't see it, bro.
I didn't see
You
this.
missed
Like we want to
LeBron,
tell
man.
you missed John Cena and you missed LeBron. Like
I remember going to the
And you
movie
missed the
theater to
trouble
watch LeBron's movie in high school, bro. I remember that shit. Crazy.
Mo, what's your next topic? You get
All right, we're doing snake. So another topic I brought up on TikTok. I don't know where they went wrong with Cody after WrestleMania 40. I'm not saying he's obviously he's the guy, right? We can agree on that. But something feels off, and part of it is their dying need to interject other people into his stories for no reason.
That's right.
AKA 40, even though that worked out, 41 and 42. Like, why? But also, I feel like, I don't know. I was watching a Cody promo, like the promo he cut right after he won his first Rumble. And I'm like, bro, he don't be cutting promos like this no more. Like, the promos don't hit the same no more.
what the fuck?
Like, so something's just different about Cody. And I don't know if it's just me. I want to hear what y'all think. I don't know if it's just me. Yo, what kind of comment is that?
Bro, I had to show it, bro. It was hitting. I was like, nah, everybody's got to see this.
Yo, that's crazy. Insane.
Everybody's got to see this.
I beg your
What the-
pardon.
What does
I
that
saw that shit
even
and threw
mean?
me off.
It's because his son plays for the Lakers.
It's time to
Got it.
Oh,
That's
shit.
wild.
I
That's
had,
wild.
I had to put it up, bro. You put yourself up, bro.
Wild comment.
Oh shit.
I think for me too, I think it also goes to a test of it's always like this in wrestling with baby faces. People just love the chase more than the actual run. You know what I mean? It's just
That's fair.
when people, especially when you're the underdog baby face, when you're the underdog type baby face, everybody loves the chase. But then when you're finally done with the chase, you know, you look at Becky, you look at Kofi, you look at Cody. You can't really count Daniel Bryan because he got injured afterwards, so we don't really know what happened. You know, what would have happened with Daniel Bryan. But everybody just really loves the chase. I think that plays a part into it. Like for me, I don't think there's any. To me personally, there's been nothing wrong with Cody since WrestleMania 40. He's been the same guy. You know, his feuds obviously have been affected by certain things and booking that is really kind of out of his control. But I think there are people out there who feel like he hasn't done anything good since Mania 40. Like the Kevin Owens stuff was good. The AJ Styles stuff I thought was good. You know, he's done some good stuff. It's just, if we're really being honest too, I think what hurts Cody is coming off the Roman stuff, because what Roman did,
Yeah.
he put things so high. I just think people are comparing the two. Like anything Cody does, I'm talking about certain fans. I'm not talking about everybody. There's certain fans.
Right.
Like everything Cody does, they attach it to Roman. Okay, Cody has this feud. How good was it when Roman did it? Cody has this match. How good? Like they're constantly comparing it, and I think that hurts him. You know what I mean? Like that also affects him, where it's like, let Cody just be his own guy, bro. He's not Roman Reigns, and he doesn't have to be Roman Reigns. He can be his own self. He can do his own thing and still make it good without having to try to copy and paste somebody else. I think those two things play a factor into it, because I've seen so many people just.
Yeah, I think there are three things that go into it, Mo. One of them definitely is what you guys referenced, the fact that they, for whatever reason, as much power as they've given Cody Rhodes in the booking and stuff like that, for whatever reason, they can't seem to just trust him to just have a freaking match. There's always got to be some type of shenanigan or outside interference or what. So that's number one. Number two, again, just time and space. I mean, I think we forget at this point, it's been 4 years since Cody's been around, and he's been not just the top booked babyface in that entire 4 years, but again, we've mentioned this on several occasions, the most consistently rooted for top babyface, like maybe in the history of the company. Like no one goes 4 years with this much support from the crowd. Nobody. And he did it. And I think we might just be reaching the end of that rope. That's number two. And then number three, I think lately, I think we all just kind of have shiny new toy syndrome, because we kind of don't want to see Cody. We want to see Oba, and we want to see Trick, and we want to see who's the bouncy kid?
Javon Evans.
Javon Evans. We want to see all these new people, and that's what we're focusing on right now. And then we just kind of forget that Cody is still up there doing his thing, and Cody's still really good. But it's just a time and space thing, and there's more competition, and there's fresher faces. And I think the babyface run might just be reaching its apex. And I think we saw a hint of WWE knowing that with how that Randy Orton match played out. I think Cody will be Homelander Cody by SummerSlam. I honestly think that. So yeah, I think it's a mixture of those three things. But listen, Cody's out there doing his thing. More power to him.
I definitely agree with one of the comments said about how it's, and I noticed this as a Cody fan. He's completely different on Raw than he is on SmackDown. It's two different people, because when he go on Raw, it's cook time. When he's on SmackDown, it's like, what are y'all doing? And that's my guy. So I don't. That shit is crazy to me.
You know the irony of that? Literally, the Monday he pulls up on a Monday in MSG. You have the Stephanie promo. He goes to SmackDown. You have the Pat McAfee.
I mean, look when he came after he won the title, and he did cook on SmackDown. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that promo he did on SmackDown last Friday was good. But he came on Raw hot. Yeah. He's ready to talk his shit. He's ready to go. Yeah. Oh, is that me? Yeah, my bad.
He said he came on Raw hot, bro. Pause. That's kind of crazy.
What's up with the pauses today, man?
Well, y'all wilding. I think it's Cody's a better heel than he is a babyface at the end of the day. For those like who actually know, who've actually seen heel Cody, like we know, like he's better. Even like if you want to even go all the way back to undashing Cody Rhodes, like his character work has just always been better as a heel. It's been more entertaining as a heel, especially if he's going to be a champion. Him as a babyface champion, the first run was cool. I mean, like when you really look at what Cody had to go through that first run, like it started off really good with AJ Styles, but then he got sucked into the Bloodline 2.0 vortex, and that shit was buns. Like he had to face Solo Sikoa in the main event of SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. That's where we were at that time. It was bad, and he still was continuously in that vortex.
And he had to do the Logan Paul shit.
He had to do Logan Paul.
That was good. That match was good though.
The match cooked, but then he had to do the Kevin Owens stuff, which was good. But the thing with Cody in these fall programs, they last until about January, and he was stuck in that Kevin Owens shit. I know he had the Bloodline shit in between, but he was really with Kevin Owens till about January. Same shit happened with Drew McIntyre after SummerSlam. Like he was stuck in the Drew McIntyre vortex until January of that year, and even in February he went right back to it. Like I don't know what it is, but Cody always seems to have like just feuds that go on for way too long for the title, and he keeps beating these guys. Like he keeps beating Kevin Owens, he beats Drew McIntyre. Like it like over and over and over again. I think the Drew one, I think that really like pushed people over the edge. I think people are like, this is getting ridiculous. Like you're beating Drew McIntyre literally every title match to the point where when Drew won, he was getting cheered, and he came out the next week like people were happy for Drew. Like this is your heel beating your top babyface for the title, and people were cheering it. So I think it also goes to Jay's point. I think people are just they've been had Cody fatigue for like 6 months now, but I think it's really reaching a point of Cody fatigue.
And then to that point, though, is that his fault? Because he asked to give it to him at Palooza. They didn't want to do it. That's another thing. Like, he's saying no to some of this shit, but then he's doing the John Cena where, all right, whatever, we're going to let it fly because he did want to give it away at Palooza. So it's fucked, man. He's in a shitty position.
Which would have been perfect.
Would have been prime.
Any top guy who gets that type of treatment or push, though, like we talked about, the fans are going to find a way not to like it eventually because there are certain people who believe once you get to that top spot, okay, you got that spot, now move out and let somebody else get in. It doesn't work that way. That's not how you solidify legends. People will – it's funny now because people will shit on Cody's booking, but then they love John Cena, you know what I mean? And John Cena was constantly being pushed heavily in the top spot. They hated Cena for a reason back then, you know what I'm saying, during that time frame. But over time, Cena's become more beloved and a legend because of nostalgia and people's childhood, and people started to realize how good and great he was once he got older. I think Cody, guys like Roman, those guys will have that effect. Once they get older, you're going to start to see them move away a little bit. You're going to start to see, I mean, we already seen it happen with Roman. As soon as he dropped the title, people were like, oh, Roman Reigns OTC. I'm like, y'all wasn't rocking with the bloodline shit like that. I know certain people who switched over, like, y'all were begging for him to lose a title. And then
at Clash, I remember it.
And then when he lost the title, now it's like, oh, Roman's OTC. I was like, bro, y'all wasn't feeling like that when he was champion, though. He wasn't feeling that way. I seen it, you know what I mean? Now that Cody's champion, once his time comes where you start to see him, like, out of that spot a little bit, I think he'll get the same shit. Oh, Cody was the man back then. But like, y'all didn't feel that way, though, when he was the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know why it's like that. People love the chase, and then once you get to the top of the mountain, they hate when you're there. And then you have the fall of stages, and when you're getting older, then they want to appreciate you more. You know what I'm saying? It's the nostalgia effect. So,
is it my turn?
Yeah, It's on you, Nate.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're about to get a little nasty, bro. Paige is who y'all thought AJ Lee was. Brother, let me cook really, really quick, okay? Let me cook.
ooh.
A lot of y'all in this community, the IWC, was saying, AJ Lee's washed. Oh, she can't keep up with the new talent. Oh, her mic skills have diminished over time. Oh boy, the person who y'all thought AJ Lee was is finally here. And the funny thing about this comparison is we didn't have proof that AJ Lee was washed. We had no proof. We didn't know because she's been out wrestling for a while. We have literal video 4K footage that Paige is fucking washed. I'm talking about Paige the wrestler, not Saraya Knight. I think she's a lovely person, but we're going to talk about the wrestler Paige. Boy, oh boy. Brother. Let's see. Lettuce, onions, pickles, hold the tomatoes, extra mustard, extra mayo, sesame seed bun. She did some burger wrestling in AEW, brother. Let me tell you. You saw that sequence with Tony Storm? What the fuck was that? That's Tony Storm, one of the best wrestlers in the world. I never seen, till today, when I saw Alberto Del Rio deliver that clothesline in DDT,
That was terrible.
I've never seen a wrestler wrestle in 0.5 speed. That shit was terrible. Like, y'all want to say AJ can't keep up with these girls? Paige couldn't keep up with the AEW girls, and there was some hoopers in there. You think she could keep up with Bayley? You think she could keep up with Lyra? You think she could keep up with Charlotte Flair? Like, nah, brother. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Paige, she is what y'all gonna find out. Y'all gonna wait till Backlash or whenever she has a match. Wait till she has that singles match. And she moving at 0.5 speed. And she buffering in the ring.
I've got nothing else to add.
I can't argue that, bro.
I think Paige is a theme song and a nostalgia high and nothing more. She was great. She was great. She was great back in the day. I hate what happened to her. I hate how she left the company the first time. I'm super happy for her on a personal level that she got that clearance from WWE that she's been seeking for the past 10 years or whatever. But yeah, it was a great WrestleMania moment. I'm happy for her as a person. She's got a great theme song, and she's a lovely person. But that's not the problems that the women's division has nothing to do with Paige, and Paige isn't going to fix the problems that they have. Definitely ain't gonna fix that women's tag team division. Bob the Builder couldn't fix that shit. So,
it was cooking before they did that Bella shit.
I will say
It
I
took
will
a step back.
never knock people for liking who they like and nostalgia hitting, because we all have those nostalgia feels sometimes. But I also think you got to be a little realistic sometimes when it comes to your favorites too. You know, it's okay to like who you like. There's gonna come times though when you're like, man, you know, you're gonna have to kind of be honest with yourselves about certain things, about people that you really
when
enjoy
I do that with Roman, never mind.
and stuff like that. Roman, I mean, it's with anybody. Roman, with everybody. I mean, look, when Kobe Bryant was my favorite basketball player, watching him, you know what I'm saying? But as he started to get older, I was like, yeah, he ain't got it no more, bro. Like it pained me to say, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, you just don't have it no more. It's not there.
It wasn't Celtic Shaq bad, but it was
That's
bad.
a fact. Look, I was one of them people cooking AJ Lee. Still am. But I gotta be honest and call a spade a spade. Nate is right. I watched them AEW matches. She been cooked. Saraya been cooked. It's a burger, no cheese. Don't give her none of that. She don't need no lettuce, tomatoes. It's only ketchup. That burger bad.
Cheese is serial killer.
That burger is bad, bro. I watched them matches. They tried to put her with
Y'all saying
Jamie
this the
Hayter. That
nasty
shit
patty?
was ass, nigga.
And look, to be fair, I think to be
Calling her a
clear,
Mickey D single.
That's it. That's it. No small onions, no pickles, just only ketchup. That's all she getting.
to be fair, I think to speak for everybody, I think we all want her to do great. You know, we all hope that we can. We all hope that we can come back up here and be like, oh man, not the that shit.
The nasty
Not
patty.
the nasty patty.
The nasty patty is wild.
Y'all horrible. Bro.
We all want her to be great.
Y'all
I
laughing.
hope that we can come back up here.
Nigga with that bacon, bro.
The nasty patty is wild, bro.
I was
think-
just asking. That's what y'all meant.
Oh shit!
Might be worse than that.
Oh my god!
We have to go based off what we've seen, though. Based off what we've seen of her latest stuff, compared to what the women's division has become, it's not really moving us. You know what I'm saying? It's just not moving us. Now, if it turns out great for her, I'll be happy for her. I hope she can act in the division. But once again, going based off what we have seen, no cheese
I
on
say
the
nothing.
burger, bro. That's all I'm saying.
We all love
I
that
ain't
pretty
even do
patty until it
nothing.
turns your tongue orange.
Yeah, facts.
That might be the better comparison.
Yeah.
That might be the better comparison.
Nigga was coloring the patties.
Y'all walking around with purple.
Oh, bro, like what?
Oh God!
He was
Kind of
out there
shit was
painting
that?
the patties, bro. That's crazy.
My tongue orange.
Number one podcast on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a fact.
But you get SpongeBob references with Paige, bro.
Man, what you
Oh,
got, man? What you got?
Okay, I got a question for y'all. I think it's time to bring it out since we're talking women's wrestlers. How are we feeling about Rhea, man? I just want to just blanket statement. Are we over it? Like, has the Rhea Ripley run as like the babyface met it? Because like, I don't know how I'm feeling about her these days. How are y'all feeling?
I think she's great, but I
I'm
think
good.
that everyone online who's been calling Becky Hogan has been using the wrong first name. But I
That's
mean,
fair.
I think. But listen, here's the thing: I can't really blame WWE for using her the way that they do, because everywhere she goes, she gets Stone Cold pops. You
Facts.
can make arguments from now until the cows come home over the reason for that. You can talk about how her fan base is a little bit weird, because it is. But the fact of the matter is, everywhere she goes, she gets a glass shatters pop at every country, in every arena, at every show. So, yeah, is she grating on me a little bit? Yes. Do I think that maybe she needs to not go away forever, but take a vacation for a little bit, refresh, and come back renewed? Yes. But yeah, I can't, but I also can't blame WWE for doing what they're doing with her. And until those pops fade, and listen, I don't know when that's going to happen, but until those pops fade, I can't really blame them for what they're doing. Full stop.
That's true. And the merch numbers are crazy. So
Yeah.
I think I don't really have a problem with how they use Rio because I think I just understand it. Like she's one of the best they have in the division, and she's clearly the most popular they have in the division. Like they can't turn her heel because that's never going to work right now. It may never work ever again for all we know. Like her reactions. I mean, we come on here and talked about, you know, like peak Becky was like the best women's rise we've ever seen, but I think I would say Rhea's probably the most popular women's superstar they've ever had. Like popularity wise, she's got it, you know. And of course, people can talk about why people like her for whatever reasons, sure. But I mean, wrestling's about getting over it in some way.
yeah,
and
that shit don't matter.
she got over, you know what I mean, to the highest level. So she uses that to her benefit. And I think people sometimes forget how good she really is. Also, due to the lack of her booking when she's champion. Because when she's champion, golly, man, they don't know what the fuck to do with her when she's champion. They either don't have her on TV wrestling or she's doing other side quests with the championship. Like, if they actually let her be in good stories, she could do the rest. The matches can be good. She put on a good match with Jade. So it tells you everything you need to know right there.
Yeah.
So Rhea Ripley is one of the better talents they have in the division.
Yeah.
I think it's what the comment said. It's the before the match, bro. In the ring, once that bell rings, she's great. But like before the bell
it's
rings,
the build.
Yeah.
It's your build.
Yeah.
Their builds never hit.
Yeah, like y'all said, like I was at WrestleMania and that pop for Rhea was, I kid you not, the biggest pop of the entire weekend. She got a bigger pop than Roman Reigns.
She gets a generational pop every week.
Generational. Like literally, like that should be on everyone's bucket list to be in a stadium when Rhea Ripley makes her entrance, because that place goes fucking ballistic. Like it's insane. Like the only person you can compare that to is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like it is an insane, and that is the reason why they don't turn her heel, because even if they turn her heel, she's still going to get that reaction. She might even get a bigger reaction, a bigger babyface reaction,
Exactly.
because I think if they do turn her heel, she's actually going to be able to develop a better character, because her character really is a heel. Like she said it on Unreal. She's narcissistic. She's supposed to be narcissistic. She's narcissistic, sadistic. Like that's what she is. Like Rhea Ripley, the character, isn't a good person. Like she's not supposed to be a good person. Like we saw the shit she did with Dominic Mysterio. We saw the shit she was doing to people in Judgment Day, and she's constantly, like, I wouldn't say constantly, but like the whole stuff with the baddies, I don't even know if that's what they're called, but with Jay's group, is that they were kind of like, it was kind of karma for Rhea for what she was doing to the division. Like they were laying her out instead of her laying Liv Morgan out. Like she's a bad guy. Like her character is bad, but she's so popular that they can't tap into that. And what they're left with is just kind of like 50% of what the Rhea Ripley character should be. And that's why we get these boring ass bills that make no sense, and she's talking about my legs are bigger than yours or some shit like that with Jade Cargill. But I also think it kind of has to do with Rhea herself. I think she isn't as willing to go as personal in those feuds, because with Jade, apparently she kind of stopped all that social media stuff, so I don't think she's really willing to go that far, which results in some builds being lackluster. But you don't need that for every build. I really think her being a babyface just really hurts her character and how you build matches. But even still, like, I just don't think they know what the fuck to do with her as babyface. Besides, like, hey, go out there, get a big pop, hit your finisher, do your little sexy pin, and then get out. Like, I don't think they see anything beyond that with her.
And the sad thing is she had the chance with that Jade build, bro. And then I would just rub me the wrong way is how she acted after. It's like, why do that after? You could do that during. Like, you just look weak. You look weak, and you shouldn't look this way. You shouldn't.
The worst part is you guys are reminding me that the Wyatt Six is gone, but the Jade Fusion Collective is still around.
Is it? We don't know,
Nikita
bro.
Lyons still hasn't joined.
They weren't there last
Hey,
week on SmackDown.
Nikita be making me laugh. I ain't gonna lie. She improved. She didn't improve. She's a hooper now, low key.
Jay, what you got out? What you throw out there now?
Man,
What you talking about, bro? You need to watch that Eliminator Gauntlet on Evolve they had last week.
we don't have to spend
I will watch.
too long on this, because the reason I'm bringing this up is because of everything we already said earlier. The top three worst things to ever happen to wrestling, in my opinion, are TKO, Dixie Carter, and the Saudi Arabia deal.
Ever?
I think ever. From a big picture perspective, because I mean, who knows what TNA could have been without
Dixie Carter. Was
Dixie.
She got. There's a reason she got booed on the AMC premiere.
So everything. I mean, when you talk about what her
Fucking sucks.
actions may have cost an entire company, I think she belongs up there. The TKO deal. I mean, I'm already seeing signs. Maybe it's pre. Maybe it's early to put them in that conversation now, but I'm already seeing signs, and I don't like that. And I'm seeing that a lot online, by the way, is that everyone's saying, I don't have a problem with what's going on necessarily piece by piece. I just don't like the direction that WWE is going in, and that's because of TKO. And then the Saudi Arabia deal, it just complicates everything. It just complicates everything because WrestleMania doesn't belong in Saudi Arabia. WrestleMania belongs to the world. If people from Saudi Arabia want to come and watch WrestleMania, then they can. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, but that it's the same the other way. If you're from America and you want to go to Saudi Arabia, you guys want to buy yourselves a ticket to the Middle East right now? At any point, for anything, if WWE offered to pay for your ticket to WrestleMania right now, you would not fly to the Middle East to go see.
There's a couple creators who would, but I'm not one of them.
And so Saudi Arabia just complicates everything. It killed WWE's image initially, and it softened over time, but now it's starting to get worse again. And the fact that we have now progressed to the like it started off with just little house shows here and there, and then it got to kind of mid-grade pay-per-views, and then it got to the Royal Rumble, and we said, okay, hold up, wait a minute, this is going a little bit too far, and now we find ourselves staring smack dab at a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
And I'm sorry, they can't go. They can't go this year. Like, they can't. Like,
they're gonna have to decide by June if they can go.
They're already going back though.
And that's the crazy thing to me. It's like there's a war going on right now. Y'all are gonna go? Like,
they're already going back. So, listen, that
Absolutely.
I don't know what kind of money they got over there, but they must got some money stacked up to the sky, bro.
Y'all got it, gang.
I do have a question to Jade's list. I'm asking you specifically because you were around for this. I was like, when you brought up Dixie Carter and your reasons why, my brain was kind of like, is the death of WCW not worse though? But I'm gonna ask you because you were around.
Yeah, Vince Russo. Yeah, Vince Russo is Vince Russo for a myriad of reasons, not just his role in the destruction of WCW, is one of the worst things to happen to WWE. But you know, WCW once Stone Cold got to the point that he got to, WCW was kind of like, for a little bit, WCW was a little bit above, but the way that we feel right now about the relationship between WWE and AEW, right? The way we feel about how AEW is great and they can be great, but they are not a threat to WWE. They are not a direct competitor to WWE, and they never will be. That was the way WCW was after Stone Cold got to the point that he got to. So WCW had apex. WCW had gotten as high as it was ever going to get. And then once Bischoff and Russo saw that WWE was outpacing them, that's when all of the bad booking came, and that's when they, if they had just pulled back a little bit, WCW might have survived, but they didn't.
And then after that, Jade, the death of WCW, you got to put it on Bischoff and Hogan too for the shit they were doing. Like,
a
lot of people felt was playing a factor into that.
But the reason I say Dixie Carter more than that is because yes, WCW died. Dixie Carter then had a reference library of what not to do, and did all that shit anyway.
And hired Vince Russo.
I'm kind of with Jade to that point too, because TNA had a loaded roster at one point. Like their roster was so good at one point. Yeah. And then when I found out that Brock Lesnar wanted to go to TNA, and all he wanted was Kurt Angle's contract, the same exact contract Kurt Angle had, and they said no, but they decided to bring Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff instead. Told me everything I needed to know. I was like, wow. That's you could have had a Brock Lesnar to your roster with Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Sting, all these other people.
They could have CM Punk at one point,
and that's coming off the UFC run, right?
Mm-hmm. No, wait,
it's before.
Yeah, that's coming off Japan. That's coming off Japan.
Okay.
Kurt Angle was getting like, I think, like $1 million from like Spike TV at the time, right?
That's crazy.
But you got to think, TNA doesn't travel like WWE does. So they could have had a full-time Brock Lesnar to the roster with Samoa Joe, Sting, Abyss, Kurt Angle, all these guys. And they said no because they didn't want to pay him what Kurt Angle was getting. But then they brought in Hulk Hogan. You know, I promise you, that's probably paying Hulk Hogan more than Kurt Angle to be on TNA. So that was crazy to me. My question for you guys is just to see everybody's different answer. Who is the biggest fumble that you think you've ever seen in wrestling where it's like you still look back and you don't understand how this got messed up? And it could be any company. It could be any superstar, men, women, somebody that you looked at was like, yeah, this person has something. And then you're looking back still today, like there's no way that this got messed up. Like y'all had something there with this person and you ruined it.
So I'll go because that takes care of one of my things I was going to say earlier. That was going to be the last one, but I'll go ahead and say it now. Nate, plug your ears. It's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is one of the highest wasted potential assets that WWE ever had. Because the dude, when you gave him the right opponent and you gave him the time to do it, put on matches that very few people, especially during that range of 2012 to 2016, before all of the NXT guys started coming up, Dolph Ziggler was putting on matches on a consistent basis that almost nobody else in the company was capable of putting on. He had an old school feel to him. If he had someone to feed off of, his promos were great. His promo against The Miz still brings a tear to my eye during the retirement angle. He had the look, he had everything. At one point, he even had the manager and the muscle and the title. I know that injuries played a part in it, but that wasn't everything. Injuries maybe could have paused the momentum. Injuries didn't keep Dolph Ziggler from being what he could have been for WWE, which was a multiple-time world champion, a consistent top to mid-card face for his entire career with WWE. And I still look back and in complete disbelief that things didn't work out because Dolph Ziggler just looks like he was chiseled. Someone put a big piece of rock and said, make the perfect WWE superstar, and Dolph Ziggler was chiseled out of that rock. And the fact of the matter is, WWE just didn't care. They just didn't care because he came up in a period where Cena was still at the top and Orton and Lesnar, and then a little bit later, Reigns and Rollins. And as more guys came on, Ziggler just fell further and further down the card. So, yes, for me, it is, will always be, was Dolph Ziggler.
I'm gonna backpack off of Jade on that one because I agree. I didn't think about it until he said it, but he's right. Because there's a lot of people, when you fumble them one time, the fans give up. There were multiple times they could have saved Dolph Ziggler. Multiple times, and they just blatantly refused to do it. First, it was after he came back from the concussion when he won the world title and had to give it up. They could have easily slotted him back in that spot. They refused to do it. Survivor Series 2014. I'm not saying he could have, beaten Brock Lesnar or anything, but after that, you could have ran a Dolph and Seth feud easily, especially because he's the one who put the authority out in the first place. Easily could have ran that feud. And then again, when you had the 2016 SmackDown run after the IC title run, you could have easily put him back in that spot. Easily had a ready-made main eventer right there. Even if you didn't want to put him in there for a long run, he had something, and they refused to do it. And Jade laid it out. Like, the motherfucker's so talented all across the board. Great heel, great face, great promo, great in the ring. Like, literally everything you want in a wrestler. And they just said, nah.
Do without.
It was a really, really good one. I'll just go ahead and get mine. You already know my answer. My answer
I know, yeah.
is Braun Strowman.
And I agree with that one, too.
I thought about it.
I just, every time I think about it, I just don't understand it, man. I look back on it and I'm like, you had everything you could have wanted in a big man and a believable guy to be dominant on the roster. He could talk. He had the look, the strength, the athleticism. He had everything. And what makes it even more frustrating for me, the way they built him up after the Wyatts was so good. They did all the right things. And all they had to do was just have him beat one guy. Just beat Brock Lesnar and you're solidified. Literally what they just did with Obafemi. To beat that guy, you're moving up. And it's like every time he fought Brock Lesnar, he didn't win. He lost every time. I don't understand how they looked at this guy, built him up the way they did, and this decided to change their mind. Like, yeah, never mind. At a time when Roman Reigns wasn't being accepted by the audience, when people were tired of Brock Lesnar being the top guy, this could have, other than Seth Rollins, this could have been somebody you could have used in a higher spot. And every time they gave him a top spot, a Money in the Bank, whatever, it was sad for me when he won the Universal Championship because I knew nobody would care. Because when he finally won the Universal Championship, I knew people would look at it like, oh, well, it's 3 years too late. And mind you, he was in a match he wasn't even supposed to be in to begin with. He was a replacement for Roman Reigns, who they wanted to be the champion. And it was shown because as soon as Roman Reigns came back
He beat both of them.
to the company from COVID, they gave that nigga the championship immediately. They literally put a pay-per-view the week after SummerSlam just so they could be like, all right, Roman, here you go. Take title. Literally. Has it ever been done before? Have they ever created a pay-per-view the week after an event?
They brought back
to give the
Payback
title
just
to
for
somebody
him.
they wanted to have the
Just
championship.
for that nigga, they brought back Payback.
Like that's crazy.
That is crazy when you say that out loud.
They literally did that. They wanted
Braun
Roman
Strowman
Reigns
got
to be the
done.
champion, and he walked out of WrestleMania because of COVID. Okay, fine, take your little break, Roman. We need to replace it. Braun Strowman, we're gonna get the championship. Congratulations. Roman Reigns comes back. Yeah, we're gonna need to give that title. When? The next week. You're gonna get a
They
week.
gave it to Bray for no reason. They gave it to Bray
Yeah,
Wyatt for no
man.
reason.
just to pass it to
8
Roman.
days. 8 days.
I don't understand how in that time frame they looked at this guy and didn't see money. I'm not saying he had to be the face of the company. I'm not saying all that, but this guy could have been one of the best big men they ever had in the company's history. He had everything. He had everything you could ask for. And they somehow they looked at it and said, nope. They did all the right things, building him up, the little Big Show feud, the Roman Reigns feud. They did all the right things. And then when he met up with Brock Lesnar, for some reason, bro, they just fed him to Brock Lesnar every time, and he got his ass beat every single time. Where it just made you feel like he can beat everybody else on the roster, but that guy, every time he fights that guy, he can't win. To me, it's generational fumble. I just don't understand it.
And you could take that comment I made about Dolph Ziggler for different reasons, but you could take that comment I made about him where he said, put a block and chisel out the perfect WWE guy. I mean, you could get Brock or Braun just as easily as you get Dolph. So you're absolutely right. Complete fumble.
Nate, who's your answer going to be?
It's always going to be Shayna Baszler, man. I don't understand how two separate regimes fucked her up. Like, Vince, it's Vince. So, we know why. Because it's Vince McMahon. He's fucking stupid. Like, you had Shayna, who was a freaking beast in NXT, come up from the main to the main roster and actually retain that. Like, she actually was dominant. Like, she came in the Royal Rumble, she was eliminating people, she eliminated everybody in the women's elimination chamber, then they turned her into a vampire. But it was like, you could make that up at WrestleMania by having her beat Becky. Then she lost to Becky, and she never recovers. Not like she got the title back. It's not like she won the Money in the Bank briefcase and then cashed in on Becky when she was pregnant, which would have been freaking brilliant, would have been creating a great heel. No, she just went further and further down the card, was teamed with Nia Jax. And then Triple H comes along, and I'm like, finally, thank God, someone who knows how to book Shayna Baszler. This nigga literally booked Shayna Baszler. This is before TKO came into picture, by the way, before they started really having creative input. Triple H had Shayna Baszler, and he had her beat Ronda Rousey. Yes, they had the story that she turned on Ronda. Great, the match fucking sucked, but hey, Shayna beat Ronda. Now it's time for Killer Shayna. Put her in a tag team with Zoe Stark. What the fuck are we doing here? Killed it. Instantly. No one gave a fuck at that point. She was over when she was cutting that. She dug into Ronda Rousey. People were digging Shayna. And you put her with the charisma vacuum that is Zoe Stark. God bless her. She's a fantastic worker. But dear Lord, oh my God, her promos were awful. She tried her best, but God, she was terrible. Yeah. And then after that, she gets stuck in the Pure Fusion Collective, which should have been honestly better than it was supposed to be, but it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. And at that point, Shayna lost literally all aura. and now she's doing great work outside of WWE. I think she's a producer on NXT. I'm not sure if she is though, but I think she produced like a match or two. But yeah, she's doing great stuff now. But dear Lord, I don't know how the guy who literally built her up, who built all these expectations for her, fumbles her. I don't get it.
What was your answer, man?
I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go with AEW's one of their biggest fumbles, in my opinion. Wardlow, bro. I didn't get that. Wardlow was ready to do some Goldberg shit. The hype was there at the height of that MJF shit, and they just said, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna keep pushing MJF. We're gonna keep this thing cooking. Fuck Wardlow. Wardlow gets hurt, and it's over with after that. It's done. We try to put him with Adam Cole. Shit don't hit the same. It flops. Adam Cole gets hurt. Wardlow gets hurt. Now Wardlow is on American Gladiator Warriors with The Miz. Shout out to Wardlow. Appreciate seeing you on Amazon
And
Prime.
I will just say real quick too that the Wardlow thing, that is one of the biggest problems with AEW, in my opinion. It feeding into this is that people just come and go on AEW for no reason. People they disappear for sometimes years at a time, pop back up on an episode of Dynamite just for its caliber to say, oh my God, it's them. We haven't seen them in 2 years. And then they have one match and then poof, like freaking magic. Tony Khan throws some fairy dust on them and they disappear again. And Wardlow has been that exact same problem. But you're right. Again, Wardlow, perfect build for a professional wrestler, and blows my mind that AEW just didn't seem to realize what they had.
Didn't like him. Same for a lot of the big men over there. But you're right. The fairy dust thing, that makes me think of Private Party. They came back for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now they're going again.
Snake, so I think it's your turn.
Yep. So we're gonna do Snake. I'm only asking this one because me and my friend were having a conversation about this in another group chat that we were in. As a heel character, who do you think is a better heel, Triple H or Randy Orton?
Triple H.
I'm talking as a heel character, as strictly as a bad guy heel character.
Triple H.
Yeah, I gotta go Triple H.
Yes, I'm with Triple H as well.
Randy was
have
never.
Triple
Yeah,
H.
go ahead.
So I have Triple H as the greatest heel outside of Vince McMahon, just in WWE.
Yeah,
at least.
I don't.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
It's just, I think Randy, the problem with Randy when he really gets going as a heel, prime example, 09, they always do something stupid to fuck it up and send him in the wrong direction. Excuse me. I feel like with Triple H, there's a lot more consistency. Sure, there's the Reign of Terror, right? But he was hated, and especially if you look at the Attitude Era, like he was, especially that latter half, the most hated heel. He was the best heel, like literally ran 2000. I think there's just a level of consistency with Triple H that there just isn't with Randy Orton for some reason.
Jay, what about you?
Okay, I'm going to try to be fair and nice with this, okay? Because you guys know, especially today, you guys know my relationship with Triple H. But I'm just going to put it like this. I will just say, I don't know that I ever remember a time when Triple H was supposed to be the bad guy and he got cheered. Randy Orton gets cheered as the bad guy all the time. Like all the time. He's doing he is in Hell in a Cell tearing Jeff Hardy's ear off with a screwdriver. But as soon as he hits that RKO, it's like Stone Cold just won the world championship again. So I guess from that perspective, I guess I would have to say Triple H, just because there's some, I guess there, might I say, maybe there's a natural hateability to Triple H. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, every time that he's supposed to be the bad guy, he gets the crowd to eat out of the palm of his hand and he becomes the bad guy. So I guess I'd go Triple H for that reason.
Yeah, I think Triple H would probably be my answer. I think Randy, maybe it's just the inconsistency of his booking sometimes. I think I prefer Randy as a heel though, because like I don't know, something different about like Menacing Randy, like when he's like kicking people in the head, Legend Killer, like that Randy for me is like must watch. Like I got to see what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like for like the Legend Killer stuff, 09, 2020, like he was some of the like most watchable things that were happening in WWE at that time frame with this character. But I think Triple H comes off more as like an asshole. You know, like this is a guy like everybody should hate this guy. You know what I mean? Like Randy Orton is more of like sick in the head, I think maybe you could say, but like Triple H is the guy who's like, you know, he marries the boss's daughter, put himself in that position. You know what I mean? Like from a character aspect, it's like everybody should hate this guy. You know what I mean? Like so. I would say Triple H is, and Triple H could be evil too. I mean, we've seen it many times. You know, he can be devious, but that was just a conversation we were having in a group chat. So, Jay, what do you want to throw out there next?
Oh, I didn't go yet. I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't pick?
No. I mean, I'm with you with Triple H, but I'm gonna bring up a different point. I mean, Randy was never a final boss heel. Like Triple H actually put over a fair amount of people as a heel. I don't remember Randy really putting over. He never really made anyone as a heel. Like I can't think of anybody as a heel that he made. Like Triple H made Batista as a heel. Like Randy could have did that with Kofi, but he didn't. He didn't want to do that with Kofi. So I think as far as like final bosses go, like I think that puts Triple H over the edge.
And also when it comes to those two as well, Orton spent a good amount of his career under Triple H. Like the evolution and the authority and all that stuff. And so every time those two were working together, Triple H was always 1A. Orton was never 1A. So that's
a good point you actually brought up, because if you look at the three Manias, you know, with Benoit, Batista, and Cena, I mean, like those three Manias right there helped make Benoit a main event guy at that time, helped make Batista one of the next guys. And then to me, when Cena beat Triple H at Mania, that's when I felt like Cena was taking the step as like he's the guy now. Like he's the guy. And then even if you look at the authority stuff, I mean, Orton was the champion and stuff going into Mania, but I would say like Triple H was the guy that you could say helped make Daniel Bryan even more below through that story. You know, so
you see African 2.07. You see his comment all the way up there? He's asking Jade a question.
Can you put it on the screen? I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. What did he say? Let me look at it.
What was the question?
It's right above James' question or James' comment. We gotta let the people want to know, Jade. It's about Kofi Kingston. You should see it.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out where it is.
James, I agree too. I take Edge as a heel over Orton. That's just me.
Basically, he's asking, do you still have Kofi top 30 over Triple H?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where's that comment at? Hold on. Where's that comment at?
It's down there. I found it.
It's yeah.
I'm gonna look for it.
Please.
Oh, I see it. Jade, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jade. I refuse to believe you believe that.
That's the worst take ever. That's the worst take I've ever heard. God, Jade, I love you.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. No matter what I say right now, I'm screwed either way. Because even if I firmly believed at this point that Triple H was top 30 all time, no one's going to believe that I'm doing it. Everyone's just going to believe that I'm throwing it out there just to give you guys a bone and put this thing to rest. What I will say is that I firmly believe that everything that has happened regarding the New Day since that video went up has obviously not in a grand scheme, but it has tarnished Kofi's legacy just a little bit, because of how this whole New Day heel run has gone down. So you could convince me, if we sat and talked about it for a while, you could convince me that Kofi might slide down and Triple H
I need a beer and I don't even drink.
Convince is insane.
You could convince me. You could convince me that Triple H is over Kofi. I could be talked into it.
Convince?
I could be talked into it.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCants.
Oh my God.
What's
your question, Jay?
Oh yeah, my next thing. I don't think this is too crazy, but it's not something that I hear people saying all the time, and I think it deserves attention. I think that it's time that we start talking about the Judgment Day as one of the most successful factions of all time, at least in WWE.
Facts.
People, when it comes to modern day factions, they want to talk about the Bloodline, deservedly so. Going a little bit further back, they want to talk about the Shield, deservedly so. Going even further back, Evolution and then DX and NWO, and some of those are on different levels. Judgment Day is not on that level. But especially if we held it strictly to WWE and you asked me to name a top 5 factions, I think I'd probably put the Judgment Day in there because they've had multiple incantations, multiple champions, multiple stars that have been made with a huge thanks to the Judgment Day. Dom, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, multiple-time tag team champions, mid-card champions. If you want to include the AAA Mega Champion, then multiple world championships in that faction. They have spent more TV time on Raw than I think any other act, barring nobody, any other act in WWE over the past 5 years. It was even a meme at one point. You know, people are out there cutting a promo. So with the stars that have been made, with the championships that were won, with the amount of TV focus that has been placed, with how successful they've been even as people start shifting in and out. And I think they're starting to get towards the tail end of it, which is why I bring it up now. I think it's a good time to bring it up because I think by the end of the year, at least, Judgment Day will be done. And so I think they belong in that conversation. That's my take for this round.
I don't think that's crazy to say. I mean, you look at all the factions through WWE history. I mean, you got Bloodline, you got Shield, you got Evolution, you got DX. Can't really count NWO because that was more of a WCW creation. Right. I mean, Judgment Day is right up there. You're looking at the stars they made. I mean, Dom became bigger. New Day, I mean, yeah. I mean, because there's 3 of them, so I guess you could say they're
New Day sort of, in my opinion, up until Kofi won the world title, even though there was 3 of them, they sort of acted more like a tag team than a faction. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were more like a tag team with the Freebird rule than they were a faction of 3 independent people.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Everybody has been, majority of people have been successful through Judgment. I mean, Rhea became bigger, Dom became better, Raquel became better. I mean,
and honestly, this might piss some people off, but I think it's gotten to the point where I think they've made more people than the Bloodline at this point, because the Bloodline kind of stopped when Jey Uso got over. Solo hasn't reached that level yet. JC Mateo hasn't reached that level. Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, but like Judgment Day, pretty much anybody who has stepped into Judgment Day aside from Carlito and JD McDonough have been made bigger stars. Like, they're literally the only 2 who I can say haven't been made bigger stars. And
even JD McDonough became a champion in the Judgment Day, by the way.
So it's like,
and really, JD McDonough's the worker of the group. Like,
exactly. And like,
nuts. It's
really Carlito's the only guy who wasn't really made a bigger star in the Judgment Day. Like, even R-Truth, like, he wasn't technically in the Judgment Day, but like R-Truth got a career resurgence because of the Judgment Day. With the Bloodline, it really stopped after Jey Uso turned on Roman. Like, nobody in Bloodline 2.0 reached anywhere close to what anybody else that was a part of the previous iteration of the Bloodline reached. So,
and you could argue the Bloodline only made Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. You could argue that.
And Sammy.
Sammy? Where's Sammy at today?
Getting booed.
Yeah, but he may have been a WrestleMania off of that.
Yeah, he made it.
True. That's fair. I'm just to Jay's point. Judgment Day made.
No, they've been.
I think Bloodline had better storytelling, but Judgment Day, you could say, had made more stars consistently.
For sure.
Like,
I think they did. Yeah.
Consistently, they made more stars. I would probably say you could argue that Finn didn't get what we kind of expected him to get through the group,
but he was no worse off. I mean,
he wasn't worse off. Like, he was. I mean, he was, whether he was losing matches, whatever. He was still featured and stuff. You know what I mean? He was still a part of stories and featured and stuff. I think what Damian Priest got is what people thought Finn was going to get through the group. But even then, so Finn Balor was still featured in something. He was still doing something. You know what I mean? Whether it was tag team stuff or feuds, like, you know, he was always featured in some aspect. So
the 3 biggest ones that I mean, it's hard to argue has a faction made 3 bigger stars than Rhea, Liv, and Dom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Judgment Day pulls up.
Yeah, the Shield. Yeah,
that's literally it. The Shield. That literally it.
And Damian
Evolution,
Priest has
arguably.
one of the most memorable WrestleMania moments in the history of WrestleMania.
And see,
as
I
a
didn't even
part
want to
of the
say
WWE.
him, Jay, just because I know what people will say after. So, but you're absolutely right. Like,
But yeah, that WrestleMania, I
champion.
mean, it doesn't happen without the Judgment Day. Like, and I did forget Jacob Fatu for Bloodline 2.0, but that shit was short. Like, he was barely
He
in
wasn't
there.
in
out
there
of
very
there.
long. Yeah.
They had to kick him out
It
of
was
there
that,
'cause
but
he was
that
that
faction
big.
was so ass that they had to. They
Yeah.
said, "Get the fuck
Hey,
out of here."
Hey, speaking of the bloodline, real quick, I just gotta say this. Tonga Loa, how does your ass botch laying on a fucking table? How does your ass botch laying
I don't
on a
even know what you're
goddamn
talking
table?
I don't know what you're talking about.
See,
How do you? All you had to do was lay there, Tonga Loa. All you
He,
had to do
he
was lay
basically
there.
he basically got put on the announce table and then he fell off. Like he fell off.
You fall off. They can just lay down.
He's not
They can
good.
take a nap. What?
he fell off. They had to put his ass back
He
on
was,
there.
Jacob Fatu was scaling the barricade, and Tonga Loa was selling, and he's writhing and rolling around. And before Fatu hits him on the table, he's already on the ground.
Let's
They
see,
can't
Lynn,
get rid of him. They can't get rid of him.
Lynn, what you want to throw out there?
Okay. My next
Just
topic.
lay there.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, whatever. You got something good or whatever you want to.
Okay, yeah. Got you. My next topic, I was coming with like wrestling topics today. Who's the best leader of Bullet Club in y'all's opinion?
The best
I don't know
leader?
enough
The best
ball.
leader
I
of
can't
Bullet
say
Club.
that. I don't know enough ball.
I would say the best.
Oh,
I want to say Finn, but Kenny is really what kind of like made Bullet Club like that era of like 20,
Yeah.
like 2018, bro. Like Bullet Club T-shirts everywhere, and most of the times the Bullet Club T-shirt would just have Kenny Omega's name on it, bro. Like it would be a Kenny
Mhm.
Omega Bullet Club T-shirt, bro. I would probably say the cleaner because Kenny Omega, the stuff that he was doing. I mean, he was doing the stuff that he was doing got so much attention that it made Chris Jericho go over there and do stuff outside of WWE, which he had never done. You know what I'm saying? So Finn is, I think Finn is up there, but
That's
and AJ
interesting.
too.
I was about to say
AJ
that's interesting. You said Finn because my answer is AJ or Kenny.
yeah.
AJ's up there too, but like I feel the Omega run is really what we can like. I mean, you could talk about AJ and Finn, but like I don't know if like they were in the conversations you were putting Kenny in. Like Kenny was like in the best wrestler in the world conversations, like the world. Like we're not even talking about just like WWE. Like he was like 2018 Kenny Omega could have been the best wrestler on the planet, bro.
His
Like,
shit was so big.
Yeah.
He had Hot Topic people going to Mania asking, "Where's the Bullet Club guys for the shirts?" And they weren't there.
it was to a point too where like I feel like even if you didn't watch New Japan or watch like that stuff, you heard like Kenny Omega's name. You know, you
Mhm.
heard about Bullet Club. Like, who's
Yep.
Kenny Omega?
Yep.
Bro? Like,
Yep.
so by the time he came to AEW, like, oh, this the guy that everybody's talking about. Like,
Yep.
okay, Kenny Omega. Like, most people knew who AJ Styles was at the time,
Yeah.
and some people probably didn't know Prince Devitt as Finn Balor, but he was already in NXT, you know, when that started to happen. So people were already kind of familiar with the whole Bullet Club aspect. But like, he was in that run where it's like you were talking about him as the best wrestler on the planet. 2018, I feel like it was, to me, I feel like it was between him and Johnny Gargano. Like in those conversations, you could say
Yeah.
Seth Rollins too, because Seth Rollins 2018 was pretty good. But like, I wouldn't put Gargano over Kenny just because simple fact Gargano was always losing his big matches. Like Kenny was putting on hour-long matches with like Okada. He was winning sometimes. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
Hey, and you
I'm,
can
I'm kind of with Mo in that I'm not as knowledgeable about it as some of you guys are. All I'll say as more of a casual, New Japan watcher, I guess, is I associate AJ more with TNA than I do the Bullet Club. I didn't know who Finn Balor was until he came to NXT. Just fair. But before AEW and before I knew who Kenny Omega was. Like even I, as a casual,
Yeah.
I was going and I was seeking out Kenny Omega matches online because I heard was how game changing his matches were.
Yep.
So for me, that would be the tiebreaker, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it in 2018, like I wasn't super heavy into New Japan, but I was watching Wrestle Kingdom. And why was I watching Wrestle Kingdom? Because I heard this guy named Kenny Omega. I heard he was so fucking good. I watched that and went, oh God, this nigga is fantastic. And like I think when people think about Bullet Club, they'll think about the Young Bucks, but when they think about like leaders, like they'll think about Kenny Omega. Like, I feel like the biggest three names that they'll think about when it comes to Bullet Club is Kenny and the Young Bucks. Like, those are the names. So much so they were literally able to make an entire company off of the buzz of the Bullet Club. And AJ had a very, very massive part to play in that. I think AJ is the reason Bullet Club became successfully commercially
cool.
successful.
Yeah,
It
sure.
became cool. Like, for people that weren't too much into New Japan, like myself. I heard AJ was in it. I was like, oh shit. But by the time I heard about it, he left. But then Kenny Omega was in there. I was like, oh shit. Oh, AJ. Like, it was crazy. And like, they got All In and all that stuff. It is like, I have to give it to Kenny just for the fact that he was the one who was able to bring more eyeballs to Japan.
Hell yeah, I agree with y'all. It's got to be Kenny. I would even argue that after Kenny, yeah, you could give it to AJ, but man, no disrespect, Jay White
Evil.
and Finley, what they did after, I might put them above Prince Devitt. I cannot lie.
Jay White nasty, bro.
Look, Jay White was doing shit, bro. Jay White was moving me as leader. And the War Dogs, look, that was a great. People thought that shit was dead, and David Finley did something special and got us Clark Connors himself, Gabe Kidd, you know.
R.I.P. Bullet Club.
Yeah, it's dead now. It's over.
Unbound Company.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Nate, what's your topic?
I'm gonna make one on the fly because I already said one of mine earlier. I'm gonna say that the only way, or the best way to make your Raw and SmackDown watchable is if you make them two completely different shows. And by that I mean you have to give Raw something and you have to give SmackDown something like distinctive. Like, one show has to be like your car crash TV. Like, it doesn't have to be this way, but like the way to separate them, like, one, car crash TV, another one, we just fucking wrestle. Like, that's like the best way to do it. Like, if you're going to keep these shows somewhat separate, you could just end the brand split, right? That's the easiest thing for you to do. You can end the brand split, just have anybody wherever. But if you actually want to make like some fun TV, you actually want to make things distinctive, I think you should make Raw and SmackDown two completely different shows, and it will make the shows more fun to watch, in my opinion. You won't feel like you're just watching one WWE product throughout the entire week. It feels like Monday I'm watching something, Friday I'm watching something different, and I'm getting something different from each show, and it will bring and you could probably even do like the Raw versus SmackDown. When they do like the Crown Jewel stuff, it'll actually mean something. Like, because we over here, we're chaotic. We're balls to the wall. Over here, we care about wrestling. Like, we're about what's in between those ropes. And you have that clash. Because what they're doing right now, it's not working, bro. That shit is buzz.
No, facts. I mean, it worked perfectly when they first did the brand split. You had the SmackDown 6, and then Raw was, different. Of course, 2016 when you had SmackDown Live. Like, SmackDown Live was the opportunity show. Like, people that you want to see get the opportunities that weren't getting those same opportunities on Raw. And then Raw was still good in its own right because you still had the top stars, but you still had stories that were watchable. So it was a perfect balance. I don't know why they don't go to that formula more. I heard stories, back in the past where, like, even when they were doing the SmackDown 6 stuff, when SmackDown was becoming better than Raw, Vince didn't like that. He wanted Raw to be the A show. And maybe it's because of network and because of sponsors, whatever the case is. But I'm always looking at it like, bro, you own both brands. They're both your company.
Right.
Raw's your company, SmackDown's your company. If they're both doing good, who cares? They're both good. Make it good. So I never understood why they don't treat it that way. One of the big reasons why I was never a fan of the Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series shit, because for me, it's like the brand supremacy shit didn't mean anything. Like, why are we fighting for our brand if we don't have something to fight for? It's just because we're on the brand. Why would I care what brand I'm on? But do I have something there for? Am I getting paid more money? Am I getting a Royal Rumble spot? Am I getting a world title match? These are things that's going to intrigue me as a superstar, where it's like, you want me to be on Team Raw? Well, okay, give me a reason to be on Team Raw. All right, well, I want you on Team Raw, and then if you help Team Raw win, I'm gonna give you a title match. All right, I can do that. Saying I want a title match.
Yeah, exactly.
But this for you, like, hey, I want you on Team Raw, just to be on Team Raw.
Cool.
Because I care about Raw.
Right.
I just got SmackDown.
I just got here. Most of the time, it's like I just got here. Like, why would I care?
Right.
That literally happened. Like,
they trade a guy and then they put him on Team Smack. Like, it's nonsense. And you guys know my relationship with the brand split, right? Say it with me. It doesn't matter.
No.
But just to address Malik's point, I was always of the belief that because they don't do it anymore, but the baseball all-star game used to have the Major League Baseball all-star game used to have a condition that the team that won got home field advantage in the World Series for their league. So if you were on a winning team and you had a team that had hopes of being on the World Series, you played your ass off in that All-Star game because your team might end up with a home game 7 in the World Series. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they
But
killed it, which was dumb.
I always thought that WWE and Survivor Series, when they were doing brand supremacy, should have been something similar. Maybe if your brand wins, your brand gets the final slot at WrestleMania. Your world champion defends his belt against his opponent in the last match at WrestleMania. They never did that, and I always thought they should have. But the problem is, you guys mentioned how the brand split worked because Raw and SmackDown almost felt like watching two different companies when you watched it. Unfortunately, all WWE took from that, and it's a problem to this day, more than 20 years later, is that they think that worked because there were two different rosters. That's not why it worked. It didn't work because it had two different rosters. It worked because those rosters were played to their strengths and were put into positions where what you were doing on SmackDown was going to stand out from what you did on Raw. And right now there is no difference. I mean, literally, except for the biggest stars at the top of the card, and depending on who your favorites are, watching Raw and watching SmackDown, it's almost like watching a repeat. Sometimes literally. Sometimes half of SmackDown is just recapping what happened on Raw the previous Monday. So having two different rosters makes no difference if you don't book them independently. I just don't know if they're ever going to do that.
Yeah, I've said this before. Like, the brand split, like, when I go back and watch, like when I binge watched the Ruthless Aggression era, that shit meant something. Like, even when I started watching 07, like, the brand split still meant something. Like, it was almost like taboo when a Raw superstar went to SmackDown and vice versa. Like, they lost that. I don't know why. Like, they just stopped giving a fuck about that. My thing is, if you're not gonna care, then don't do the brand split, because it's an insult. It's an insult to my intelligence when you're just bringing SmackDown guys to Raw and vice versa with no. Like, I remember even like 2016 when Brock and Randy were feuding, but they got drafted to different brands. They were having security stop Brock Lesnar from trying to go over the barricade. Like, the little details like that makes it like, even like where they lost the plot exactly, and it's why I hate this fucking year, is the wild card rule in 2019. That's where they completely lost the plot. Because before that, even when 2017 SmackDown sucked ass, it was two different shows. There was the Land of Opportunity, and then Raw was like the Star Power show.
Yeah.
And they completely forgot about that as soon as they did the wild card rule.
To the point of insulting our intelligence, Mo, the worst part is when they think they can just get away with it so blatantly. Just this week, Rhea left Raw and talked to Io Sky like she was never going to see her again. And then Jacob Fatu is just out there on SmackDown talking about the shit he just talked about on Raw for a title that isn't even on SmackDown.
And they just did the same thing with Rhea Io a month ago.
Jacob's been on SmackDown to begin with. How could he even just show up to Raw and just I want to match?
I was wondering that.
I want that Raw.
You're not on the brand now. Who put you on the brand?
Nigga, you've been on like weren't you fighting for the WWE title last month? Like 2 months ago?
You can just show up to the roster and be like, "Hey, I want a title match."
This nigga literally like was in a whole feud, like a triangle feud
with Cody
Rhodes and Drew McIntyre over the fucking title, the WWE title on SmackDown. And Raw was like,
So much so, Nate, that Cody Rhodes told Jacob Fatu that after he gets his belt back, that the first defense he should have should be against Jacob Fatu. He literally told him that.
Sit out the window. Fuck that. Dude,
continuity just doesn't exist.
We need Pat McAfee. Fuck that, brother. We need Pat McAfee.
I never liked the brand split stuff when they used to do the brands. Like, the brand supremacy, like, they may get it right here and there, but it's like
the only year,
you're not really giving me reasons to care about it, because it's just a match. It's just matchups in the day. It's fun matchups. They could be fun to watch, Lesnar versus AJ, and great matches. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, at the end of the day, it's just like a brand supremacy thing. You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, I was talking to my wife the other day. Do you guys remember when they did the Fox brand split and they had actors pretending like they were the Fox execs celebrating their draft?
Dude, that shit was.
They were drafting Natalia and then getting up and high-fiving each other.
Like, bro, what?
They should treat it.
That was so cringe.
Bro, you know what pissed me off so much is they had the draft in October, and then the next month was Survivor Series. Like, nigga, I just got here.
I have no
I gotta fight for you. I just got here, bro. Like, we got you now. You gotta fight for us. Like, nigga, I just got here, bro.
I
Hey,
can
they
under-
did- they
I
did
can
the same thing with
understand,
Matt Hardy
like-
in 05.
Yeah, I can understand like certain times when like
But he had a reason.
when like
He
when
had
they
a reason
like
to
when
go
they
against Toronto.
inserted like NXT, that was cool because like NXT is like the lower brand, so like they don't look at like
Right.
us as like a serious brand. You know what I'm saying, but like you gonna take it serious type thing. I can understand maybe if you're the top champions, maybe sometimes you want to prove you're the alpha male. I'm the better champion, whatever. Okay, but it's like they should treat it like a real sports thing. Like if we're playing for a sports team, we're representing the sports team, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to win a title. That's the ultimate goal. We want to win a championship. We're playing for something. We're competing for something. We're not just putting on jerseys and be like, all right, let's just go play basketball now. We're competing for something at the end of the day. I feel like with the brand supremacy, we're not competing for anything. We're just competing for who's better, Raw or SmackDown. Why do I care? It's
Nah,
WWE at the end of the
yeah.
day. It's not like it's WWE versus AEW where it's different. That would be something different because it's our brand, but Raw is WWE owned, so is SmackDown. So it's like,
Fighting for a
Hey.
ring now.
what
And a
are we
big-ass
fighting over? What
championship.
color is better, blue or red? Like it's just it doesn't matter.
Stupid ass diamond ring.
Niggas gang banging out here, man. What the fuck are we doing?
Well, what topic do you want to throw out there?
All right. So unfortunately I gotta leave after my two, but
Yeah,
my first one is a question. What is the best WrestleMania follow-up pay-per-view in y'all's opinion?
Ooh. Ooh.
the best follow up pay per view.
Backlash 2018.
Yo, bro.
Yo, gang. Get out of here, gang.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Oh,
one to say
I
you're
would
crazy.
say it's between Backlash 2000 and Backlash 2024. Both of those are phenomenal pay-per-views. Very. God, I might give it to 2024 for the crowd. The crowd might just do it. That crowd and that.
That was the
main
Puerto
event-
Rico show, right?
No, that was
No,
the
that was
Paris-
the
that was
That was
France.
France.
Yeah.
France.
France.
Okay.
Like that
Got
main event and that crowd was just fantastic. Like Backlash has the Stone Cold pop, like the Stone Cold return, which
Right.
is amazing. And
Yeah.
the show overall is great. But that crowd for
But
the entire
Backlash
night.
has the image of AJ literally bouncing because
Yeah.
the cameras
Yes,
are
bro.
shaking so hard.
Yes,
I
bro.
would
That nigga was
say
bouncing like crazy. Like
The Backlash 2024 crowd might be the best crowd we've ever seen, but
Yeah.
something different. That Rock and Triple H match. I don't know
bro,
if
it's
I've
so good.
ever. If you guys have never seen that match or haven't seen it in a while, if you go back and watch that 3 count when The Rock won the championship,
It's like a
I
double
don't know if I've ever heard some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes
Insane.
wrestling like fun to watch. When you're invested so much into a story like that, and it makes it even more painful because like what they did at Backlash should have been WrestleMania, and if that had been WrestleMania, that would have been
Yeah.
one of the greatest main events ever. But like overall show, 2024 might be a better overall show though because they did have some really good stuff on the show.
and it did follow 40. So like as a
I-
follow up, it kind
I
of continued the momentum.
I think I would go. Yeah, I think I would go 24. I think that's where I'm at.
24 is special, but hey, I shout out Backlash 2004 with that Randy Orton and Mick Foley match. That shit was
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
nuts. Happening.
banging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, can I okay, so my last take was gonna be a hot take, and it had to do with that show specifically. Actually. So I'm gonna drop off my 2 real quick. Because I'm gonna leave after these. So first one. I'm not saying this Raw after Mania that we just had wasn't good because it was. But bro, I miss when that shit was like a party. Like a whole after
Oh.
party. Like in the 2010s, that shit felt like a fucking after party. Bro. I
God,
don't know.
bro.
I don't know what happened where they just kind of like
I don't
it was
know.
like the crowd was insane and like a lot of like insane shit was happening on the show at the same time. I feel like we lost that a little bit.
Lost the plot. Lost the plot.
Especially after 39. Jesus. That Raw after Mania was oof.
That was rough.
But last one I'm gonna say as a hot take. I firmly believe the triple threat at Backlash 2004 is better than the triple threat at Mania 20.
Ooh.
Well, Benoit did it again.
I think
Yeah.
the fact that you have
don't know about
Benoit
that
in
one,
his
man.
hometown, Sean being so hated in Canada, and Triple H being, like the crowd dynamic to me made that match just a little bit better than the Mania match.
Yeah,
And like the fact that you had Sean tapping out in Canada with Earl Hebner as the referee to the sharpshooter, perfect ending. I thought that one was a little better. That's just me. That's a hot take on my end.
I'm not mad at that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
man! WrestleMania 20, bro. That
That is
shit,
special. It's
That's
fire.
I think they're both perfect. I think they're both perfect.
that was really good, man. That was really good. I mean, Backlash to 2004 was a good one too,
Mhm.
especially when they did the repeat, and then like
Yeah.
I like the finish maybe a little bit better because Triple H trying to save Shawn from tapping out, and then Shawn Michaels taps
Yeah.
out at the end
Shawn's like,
anyway.
nope.
So they did that really really well, but I don't know, man. WrestleMania 20, bro. That match was like so good, bro.
I think that's just like more emotional. 20 was like more like it was more cathartic of like Benoit finally getting to the top of the mountain. Obviously, you had the Eddie moment, but like I think overall, like in terms of just a match, I just think the Backlash match was a little better. That's just-
Backlash match is better. That's the best triple threat match, you think?
that's high up there, bro. I gotta think about that. There's a lot of triple threat. Like my answer.
The best
changes from
triple threat match of
every
all
day.
time. The best triple threat match of all time is Gunther Sheamus Drew at 39. I firmly
Such a
believe that.
freaking great
That
match.
or Unbreakable
Um,
2005.
That match is good, bro. But
As far as this topic, I'm going to have to abstain just because I don't like talking about Voldemort either way. But
Fair enough.
I haven't seen, so I wasn't watching wrestling really at that time. That was kind of during a time my family was going through some financial stuff. We didn't even have cable. So I only know about that stuff, particularly in retrospect. And unfortunately, I've never gone back and watched the Backlash match just because I don't go seeking out, Chris Benoit matches. So I don't know enough about it. But for what it was, putting to aside for just a second, the WrestleMania moment was special. Because it was WrestleMania, I can't see anything happening at Backlash being better than that. But overall, I don't really have much of an opinion on it.
What was your last one? You don't have to before you head off.
I dropped
Those
my
are
five.
okay.
Yeah, that was more fun.
Those are
All right,
yours right
y'all.
there.
later, Mo.
Be
Take it
safe.
easy.
All right, up.
Yes, sir. Love
That
y'all.
Io Rhea Bianca match is in the conversation
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That
And
match was
Roman,
fantastic.
I gotta give Roman Punk and Seth their props too, because that was a good.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I think
well-
Roman, Daniel, and Edge was better than Roman Punk and Seth.
Ooh.
I do too.
Ooh.
Damn. There's some bangers, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go through one last topic real quick. So, just pick something that everybody wants to throw out there, whatever's on your list.
Let me just throw mine out because it's probably the quickest one. Just so everyone is aware, it's possible to have Hulk Hogan on two lists, and people seem to forget that. It's possible to have Hulk Hogan on the list of the most influential wrestlers of all time, while at the same time having him on the list of the worst wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
You can be bad at something and still be influential for the things that you did and the state that you were in at the time. At the time that Hogan did it, it was okay to be a trash wrestler because almost everybody in mainstream American wrestling was a trash wrestler. But he had the build and he had the physique and he had the voice, and more power to him. He got people behind him. Definitely possible to have Hulk Hogan on both those lists. Having him on one does not disqualify him from the other.
Yeah, I think. Back you talking like the Golden Age era. It was more so character based as far as what people gravitated towards too. You look at the Undertaker, Macho Man, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior. Characters are what Jake the Snake. Characters are really what people gravitated towards too. Nate, you want to throw? You got one you want to throw up?
Yeah. We ain't got to get into a big discussion. I ain't going to say what I said in the group chat, but I do have one that I think is very interesting. I think the Money in the Bank briefcase should be eligible for all the world titles that are in companies that are WWE affiliated. Meaning, like, if you win the Money in the Bank briefcase, you should be able to cash in on someone from TNA, AAA, or like Pro Wrestling or whatever.
That's hard.
WWE. Yeah, because I feel like even though it ain't ever got to happen, or at least anytime soon, I think that brings another layer of unpredictability. Because Money in the Bank these past like 5 years really sucks. Like, even Triple H couldn't save that shit. Like, aside from the Damian cash in, like the men's side has been very lackluster. Like, I can't think of the last time there was like a men's cash in that I was like very excited for. I don't even know who cashed in last year. Who the fuck cashed in last year?
Seth.
It's
Yeah, that dumbass fucking fake injury. Then he got injured for real. So, like, it's so bad. Like, you have to have someone get fake injured for a cash in to matter at this point. So I think if you like, hey, you can go to TNA, like have whoever wins show up on Impact, like hey, I got the briefcase, like that'll be intriguing. And you can even have someone from like TNA compete in the match. Like if you got Leon Slater, have him compete in the match. Like, hey, like I want a TNA World Title shot. Let me grab the briefcase. You know, so I think that will make things a lot more fun, a lot more unpredictable. Like I said, you don't gotta have the winner actually cash in, but it's like it's a good possibility.
I agree with that. I think that would add an additional layer to it and add some fire behind it that it severely lacks right now. Add a little bit more unpredictability to it. And it opens up the floodgates a little bit more. So if you do have guys like Cody and Roman who, let's face it, are not ever going to be cashed in on for anything because of who they are, but it opens up the possibility that, okay, I may not cash in on them, but I can cash in AAA, I can cash in TNA. So, yeah, I agree. And at this point, by the way, do anything with the money in the bank to make it better because right now it's just terrible. But,
Also, bring it back to Mania, bro. Just do it.
I have said that before on the podcast too. Yes.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Lynn, what's one last topic you going to throw?
Oh, my last one was just to shout out my boy from the Whoop That era, man. Look, I know we talk about Oba and Braun, but to me, I ain't seen charisma since The Rock with that dude. Trick got it, man. Trick got it. It's something special about Trick Williams. Every time, even with that Yachty shit, the gingerbread man shouldn't be there. All that shit. I'm still invested in one of the main reasons why I will watch SmackDown every week is for Trick Williams. And it's so sad because I want to see Melo get his comeuppance, but I don't want to see Trick lose no time soon. No time.
You high on Trick Williams like that?
Bro, and I know I know what everybody's comment is about the in ring, but
he's not even bad.
Certain things
Like,
you can't teach, bro. You can't teach.
Not even. The thing is, bro, he's not even bad in the ring. He's good enough. Like if you put him in there with Sammy, like I truly believe if they would have 5 more minutes, they would have had a sleeper. Like they would have had one of the most underrated WrestleMania matches ever. Like that, they really could have cooked. Cause Sammy's fantastic, and if you have Trick Williams in there with somebody who can actually go, like he's going to have a good match. Like, but.
Trick, Oba, and Javon are always going to be tied together just because of the period in which they wrestled. But also, it's a super, super interesting relationship with those three because really you could say that they are 3 parts of the perfect wrestler. Yeah. Javon's got the athleticism. Trick has the promos and the like Lynn is saying, just the aura, and then Oba has the look. Like that dude is a wrestler's wrestler. And so it's crazy that those 3 guys, I think honestly all 3 of them could be at the, they could be the new Roman Seth Dean butting heads at the top of the card if they are booked correctly, just because they each have their own thing that they bring to the table. And Carmelo's up there too. I love Carmelo Hayes, I do. But obviously, WWE are higher on Trick than they are Carmelo. And
I feel like he got the short end of the stick because of what you just said, because of the fact that those 3 came in together, and there's just something about those 3. Yeah. That picture from the triple threat at NXT, it says a lot. Like those 3 are really special.
It's that picture when you have Brock, Cena, Orton, and
that
Batista.
class.
It's that class. That's what it is.
And to add on to that, when Oba wins, I wouldn't have anyone beat him but one person. It would be Javon, bro. I would have Javon be the one. I don't even care how long Oba's reign is. Oba's reign could be a year. But the one person that will beat him for me should be Javon. Because they have story, there's history there. And you can have Javon do a bunch of stuff leading up.
Javon's he's never
on his own path. He never beat him. Yeah, exactly.
Good point. That's a good point. He's never beaten Oba because it seemed like they were planning for it, but then
they
got caught up.
They said help. They said our main roster's ass. We need the black. We need them niggas.
Yeah,
they've been doing it, bro. They've been doing it, bro. I'm so happy for them dudes. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they're in a good position right now. So hopefully things will turn out the way we all envision it and feel like it should turn out for everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody should be for the next 5-10 years in a good prominent spot in WWE where it's like, these are some guys that, are going to benefit from the future. So that way you don't have to keep relying on the past because some of these past stars are getting older now. They're not going to be around too much longer anymore. So
to that point, Malik, someone in the comments said Roman should be the one to beat Oba. Why?
No, that's so backwards. That's
Like,
so backwards.
I didn't say Braun Breaker.
To their credit, Wing, they did just say, they said will. They didn't say should. So
Oh.
maybe they're thinking WWE booking. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But yeah, that would be a terrible idea.
Like, my God.
Yeah, I mean Roman Reigns don't need a win over Obafemi right now. So
Roman Reigns shouldn't beat any of the young people. Should he? Like, I wouldn't want it to happen. Like, the moment Oba faces him, he should win. He should win.
I agree, especially if it's at SummerSlam. I would agree.
Mhm.
I think that would be the best thing. So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and sign off. We'll stop here since we're already over the 2-hour mark. So, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button once again. Thank you guys for coming to watch this week's episode of No Name Wrestling. Appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy the conversations. We'll be back next week. We're gonna have some episodes planned out for a little bit. So make sure you guys are on the lookout for what we got planned for the episodes that are going to be scheduled ahead of time. So, subscribe once again. Thank you guys for coming through. Hopefully, you enjoyed the conversations.